go. Hello, everybody.
I'm gonna progress.
There should be audio. Yep, there's audio now. Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations
Music
on the audio.
brought to you by Lo-Fi Boy.
Lo-Fi Boy. I thought Lo-Fi Boy was a synth boy, though.
Or Synthwave Boy, whatever the fuck is it?
Synthwave Boy.
He's still on the Lo-Fi Girl channel.
Is he live? Well, I tried to find the stream the other day.
Lives.
Yeah,
okay.
2 lives.
Yeah. I mean, Coachella has 6 lives currently going on at once. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are we here? Why aren't we just watching Coachella? Can we just do a live react to Coachella for the next 4 hours?
I am legitimately, that's what I'm doing. I have all 6 currently on, and I keep on muting one and then playing the other one and switching in between them.
Fantastic. Your attention spans are going to be perfect for the episode.
ADHD allows me to do this, okay?
Yeah. Honestly, this is not
like,
new.
This
is
normal for me. If there's one thing happening, I am bored. If I'm doing 5 things, my attention is on lock.
That is exactly what ADHD people is why we have dual monitor setups, triple monitors, sometimes it's even quadruple monitors. The sky's the limit. It just depends how many things you want. Yeah.
You know how hard it is to be one of those people and not have room for 2 monitors right now? So my screen is always so cluttered. I have like 4 different windows open on this screen alone.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Like I can't go back. I need to have 2 things ongoing at the same time to do anything. I either have to be listening to music and doing something or watching a movie and doing something. It's just how it has to be. Fee's the same way. So I would play Red Dead and do podcasts while you guys are talking.
Wow.
I'm not playing Red Dead right now. Please don't.
Bounties.
I just shot Fee in the face.
I'm not a part of this right now. Thank you.
Let's see. All right, cool. Everything, as far as I know, is all good. I think Fee probably fired off that tweet. I have to find that and retweet it.
Already did. It is already live, my friend.
Let's go. Let's go.
I think random, like, are we like live currently? Like people can hear us?
People should be able to hear us. I don't know if Harv and anybody can confirm that.
I had the audio on. I could hear us.
Cool.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I would like, we should set up one of our announcement channels to like post our tweets in Discord rather than one of us manually having to do it.
That makes sense.
True.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do it today. I'm just saying.
No problem.
You good, Harv?
Yeah, just getting it out, you know?
Is Harv doing the monster mash? What the fuck?
Get it out, you know? And progress. Was I on the last episode that we did? I don't even remember.
No.
Wait, wasn't our last episode with Braden?
Oh, well, you were here.
Yeah, you were here.
Okay. Yeah, I was here. It's been so long.
It's been a hot minute.
I have a lot to talk about, but I'm going to try and hold a lot of that back. Let's see. Okay, found that. I'm going to go ahead and make this. All right. Frank, it is up to you. I already filled out all my spots on the dock.
Okay.
So we are good to go when you are ready.
All right. Is everybody here ready? Are we all good?
I'm here.
Damn, that was loud.
I'm actually not here. Bye.
Yeet.
Oh, okay. We gotta wait for Fee. Wait for you to get back. All right, ready, boys? Or boys, everybody's? I always said boys. All right, I'm gonna start.
Boys and feet.
Boys and feet. Poison.
The boys. Sounds
like boysenberry.
I was just gonna say that. Can we be the boysenberries?
Boysenberry? BOI Zinberries actually sounds pretty cool.
It's gonna be boys and bear and then fees. So it's boys and bear fees.
Boys and bearded fees.
Oh my god! Can we get some bearded fees in the chat? Viking fee.
No, I am.
Take the beard off of my face. Put it on.
Yeah. Fee, I'm gonna need you to do this job. I need you to get the beard off Harv and put it on yourself.
I thought Harv and I were the dynamic duo.
Yeah, ChatGPT really thinks you guys are like a team up for some
It's
reason.
true. One of
We'll
these
talk-
days,
we'll-
I'm just gonna like come on the podcast. And I'm gonna be like this, and I'm just gonna come up, and it's gonna be beard.
Yeah, straight beard.
And then like
Yeah.
no beard at all.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
my
he actually mailed his beard to Fee.
It'd be like a
Oh my
transfer,
God.
transfer of power.
What the fuck did you guys? What? Transfer of power. Oh, there we go. The
Oh,
juices are
man.
flowing now.
All right, I'm just gonna fucking start this. Hello, and welcome to the Point in Progress podcast, episode 68.5, the final chapter, part 3, special edition, part 1, featuring Virgil from the Devil May Cry series.
Featuring Funky Kong.
Featuring Funky Kong. All right, I'm going to do the intro. The intro's a little different today, too. You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of horror, a dimension of Super Mario movie, a dimension of Tetris. You're moving into a land of both progress and chaos, of FEMA and Canada. You've crossed over into Point in Papyrus. Boys and this is boys and beard fees at the end of this. Why is that there? Anyway,
I thought this said NFTs.
boys and beard fees, NFTs. All right, we're gonna move into the checkpoint.
Beard.
That's what boys and beard and fees.
Fees. It's what we were saying earlier.
I wish you could. I'm gonna write this in chat, so if anybody wonders what the fuck I'm looking at on this doc, it is this. It
There you
literally
go.
just says that at the end of the script. All right, we're gonna move into segment 1, the checkpoint. Starting with a little bit of housekeeping. Apparently, our housekeeping this week is that we've all seen Tetris. So I think we said this last podcast that every Tuesday, Fee, right? Tuesday.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday, we're doing a kind of watch-along movie thing. We didn't do one last Tuesday, but we are doing like watch-alongs within our Discord. Last week we watched, or 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks now at this point. 2 weeks ago we watched Tetris, so that was a good time. We'll talk more about how that went later on in the show. And then housekeeping also says, "Fuck me, Frank. Fuck you, Frank."
Wow.
It's just getting bigger. You
The-
can probably see it in my glasses getting bigger. It it is now taking up the whole page. Wish we could. Stop! I can't see the next thing.
God, I don't know what
It's
is
not.
worse, this one or when I hosted.
I do
have
like that
no
one though.
idea.
I do like it being in cursive.
That's
As you can see,
Pacific
this
for
is-
you right there.
It's
As
so
you can see,
pretty.
this isn't a normal episode of Point in Progress because 1, I'm hosting it, and 2, we're off the chain, man. This is chapter 3, part 3, special edition, part 1 already. So
Yeah.
we're close to 69, but we're gonna, just like Attack on Titan, we're gonna milk that shit to the very bitter end before we have to cash out.
That's right.
Before we have to cash out.
Before we have to cash out. Anyway, for more of our conversation themes today, we're going to be talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. We, for the most part, who hasn't seen this movie yet?
I think
Okay, two of us haven't seen this
Thank
movie.
God I'm not the only one.
So we're gonna
I'll
enlighten
watch
them.
it when it
you
comes
know,
on the
you know
streaming services.
what's a real easy way to watch this movie apparently, and I've seen it twice show up on my feed last night on fucking TikTok.
TikTok Live.
Yeah,
TikTok
actually,
Live.
Oh
yeah. You can watch the whole movie on TikTok.
Yesterday, I was hanging out with Kate, and I watched the entire Taylor Swift concert on TikTok with her.
Mhm.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. That's all you need. Make sure you hit
All right.
the screen to subscribe. That guy.
There was
Yeah,
there was
and-
10,000 people watching this TikTok, and I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
Some people, it's weird because some people literally do. Like, there's SpongeBob. There's whole SpongeBob episodes on there. Like, I would sit there during work and I would just watch an episode. Fuck it, why not? Right?
And you know what
But
else
anyway.
you'll be watching? Our TikTok. So please subscribe. We want to
Yeah.
be able to do live streams of fucking SpongeBob
Yes.
on our TikTok.
Yeah.
I will. The first thing we're gonna do once we get live on our
I will
TikTok
live
is,
stream.
is a full episode of SpongeBob
I will do a whole live stream of Resident Evil
on TikTok.
On TikTok.
Hell yeah! And then on our conversation themes is Tetris again because somebody put it in another spot.
No. There was Tetris is not supposed to be in housekeeping. That's
I
only supposed to be at the bottom.
I know. All right. So we're gonna move into.
I just love how Frank just reads it, but he doesn't question it. He just reads it.
He
I read what's on
anchormanned
the
it.
screen.
He
I read
anchormanned
what's on the
it like
screen.
I did.
fucking roll with it. I roll with it. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive in these streets.
Remember the episode that didn't happen where I hosted? I did the same thing. I fucking anchormanned it. So
Yeah, you gotta roll with the punches. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I had a giant "fuck you, Frank" literally inflating on my screen the whole time, and I didn't falter. I just kept going. Anyway, so we're gonna keep going and talk about what we've been playing this week. I want to hear from somebody in very much particular. Fee, what
Hi.
the hell is team fight tactics?
Okay, first of all, really happy I spelled that correctly. Let me explain. So the reason why is I essentially, and oh my god, guys, I pulled essentially what my mom would do. Is like whenever I used to play World of Warcraft, she would say like, "How is War of the Worlds going?" And
War of
for,
the
like,
Worlds.
for like a sort like for honestly for a full week, I kept on calling it Team Force Tactics. Not the right name. Lucas did not correct me, but I digress. So
The disrespect.
this guy was just like, you know what? That's what the game is called to her. We're just gonna let her go with it. Team fight tactics. Yeah, I've been
Call it
having
team
a time.
fight fortress. Did you call it? What did you
Team
call
fight
it?
Team
force?
Force Tactics.
Oh, okay.
Team force tactics. Got it.
Yeah. Once again, it's still an F word, but it's not the right one, you know?
Could have been fuck.
Team fuck tactic.
Yeah, team fuck tactics.
That sounds
Oh,
like
that's a
a
different movie.
very weird game that is not something I'm going to be playing on stream ever.
Yeah, that's in the adult section in Steam.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Yeah. No. So Team Fight Tactics is a auto chess game that is based on the original mod that was made for Dota, where it takes characters from said franchise and you can purchase them with gold. And each round you are pitted against either NPCs where you can gather like gold and different like weapons, in this case for Team Fight Tactics. Or you can get gather other materials to be able to build up your team. And so it's a live, like fast-paced kind of like you have to think on your toes, like strategy wise, like what would make the best team. There's different groups that actually buff each other. So for Team Fight Tactics is made by Riot Games, and so they've implemented the champions from League of Legends into the auto chess format. And so you can get like Ash, for example, who is known for the kids call it she's a ranged character that usually goes bottom specific like lane. And so she's one of the characters. You can also get Renekton, who is essentially usually a tank type character, but they both have the same type of statistics. So it has like the same side of like, I guess tags is the best way to put it. And so it's just something that I have been enjoying because it's definitely challenging. Unlike other auto chess where you're only paying attention to the actual characters, you have to also implement the frickin' weapon thing that League of Legends does, where it's just like you have one weapon and you can get another weapon and combine those two weapons, and then you have to think like which one of these would work on said like which character. So you have to think about this in a short period of time in between rounds. And so I've been playing that recently. I've been really enjoying it. One, I don't get motion sick. Positives. But no, just overall, it's kind of like scratches like my like wanting to like I used to enjoy chess quite a bit. And so obviously this doesn't play the exact same way as chess. If it did, I don't even know how that would work. But I really enjoyed auto chess when it came out originally on Dota, and it was just a free mod that came out. And then all of these other actual studios were like, hey, we should make our own version, because we see a lot of like card games. This is not a card game, but it is almost as if like kind of like a deck builder in a way, because you get specific characters that you can purchase each round, or you can pay more money to see others, and you also have to level up during that time to build like your roster to be larger. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like some fun. I remember auto chess being like that, like you said, like it was like a big like mod that randomly just came on, and then every company was just like, "Fuck it, we need a version of that now." Like I think
all the MOBA people,
yeah,
all the MOBA companies.
Yeah, I remember playing
Yeah.
one version of it. It was pretty fun. I think it was like it might have been a League of Legends one, actually. It might have been what you're talking about, but it
Teamfight
was
Tactics.
yeah. I played something like that one time on one of these. It was either Hearthstone or something like that, but yeah, it was pretty fun. I thought it was pretty cool. It's just not my thing. I don't know if I could get into it, you know what I mean?
No, that's super fair. I have some gripes of the League of Legends one, mostly because when I've been playing with Lucas, there is a duos version where usually you can queue up as solos, so you'd only be paying attention to your own board, but you can go in as duos. So let's say for Lucas and I to go in, we could switch different characters out depending on when we got like a specific enchantment that said like you can transfer a 1-star tier character to your partner. And so when we were playing that way, we found that we were losing quite a lot. It's because there are people who have strats on how to play this. They're like, this is what we need to do. One person gets buffed, they get all the good things, and then the other person just gets carried. Because what happens is once you finish your match, you actually get teleported to your partner's match. So what would happen is these guys like would just let one person just fail over and over again, because you essentially get a bonus for losing, because the more you lose, the more coins you get, because the system's like, here's a bonus because you're losing. And so usually what would happen is partner A would be the person who would get like the ones, like all the 2-star characters or 3-star characters, and they were looking to make their actual system work properly. And then they would pay attention to the second one after, in the aftermath, once they get a lot of money. But we were noticing that, and we were just getting roasted by these people that were just like, we only had like 1 2-stars, because what happens is you get 3 of one type and then it combines to a 2-star. And I'm not going to try to get into the full mechanics, because then I'd be here like with like a whiteboard explaining everything. But it's really complicated for duos. I wish they would make it a little bit easier for duos, at least for beginners, because I know Lucas and I were like, you can tell kind of how much people play by even their avatars, because when you go into a match, you get this really cute character, but you can level up that character too. So sometimes we'd be going in with like our 1-stars, like free ones, and someone's like 3-star elite bundle package from like 3 years ago, and we're like, okay, fuck us, I guess. Like
Right.
we're
Don't even stand a chance. Right.
Once we
Someone's
finally
been playing
realized
this game a lot.
yeah, once we finally realized that, and then we started like buffing one of us, we made like, we ended up rather than being like 4th place, which is last place, we'd end up being like 2nd roughly. We got a few times where we were 1st. But for the most part, it was quite rough. So that's my only gripe about it. Also, for people who are trying to get into the genre, I don't think Teamfight Tactics is the best one to go with, mostly because of the weapon mechanics. I would say Dota. I would say literally the original.
I've heard this more than once too. I've heard this statement more than once too, that Dota's auto chess is a lot better. Yeah, because I think I remember this now. So if I remember correctly, there's a lot of RNG involved too, because I think in the beginning of it, it's like a big carousel that goes around the characters with the items, and you got to kind of just rush towards them and grab what you think would be good for your characters, and then you're building up like levels with your cards, right? And then those level up, and then helps you kind of kill like the enemies on the screen and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. Another bonus is if one of the people on your team is like losing substantially, you kind of like plateau in a way where you're getting like, when you're actually in the game, like the first time everyone gets unlocked at the beginning. But once you actually get into like round like 5, round 10, the people who are losing get opened up first. So they get first access to anything that they want. So there could be like a 5 like rated character, and you could go in and get that plus like a really good bonus. But if you're the very first person, you're sitting there until the very end. So you are getting scraps. So that's
you're fighting for that first place.
Correct. And I think that's why I think auto chess, like the original from Dota, is the easiest, because if you want to introduce yourself into the genre. You don't have to worry about all the weapon mechanics and combining, because I have to sit there with 2 screens. Like I have my main screen that I have the game on, and then I have 2 screens, like 2 separate browsers, one of which just tells me the weapon combinations, which I know you can see that in game, but I just like having the grid to be able to see quickly, like, okay, here we go. And then comment like team, like actual team, like teams that work properly. So I might be looking for like a Redacton, Ash, a LeBlanc, because and Blitzcrank, because even though they're not all laser core, some of the laser core works really well with a group called admin, and so admin gives buffs. And so you need to know all this too. So it's so much. So for
I
people
need
who are
a
starting
math
out,
degree to play this game.
yeah, for people who are interested in starting out, I would totally recommend auto chess before getting into team fight tactics. If you are a league player and you're already aware of the weapon combinations, might be better to start off with team fight tactics. But I would definitely, as someone who started off with auto chess, recommend auto chess before team fight tactics. And if you want to play, hit me up, because I quite enjoy it. So because you can queue up with all of your friends, like you could queue up with 8 people. Like if I had 8 people right now, I like 7 other people, my apologies. We could all queue up at the same time. We wouldn't be able to do duos, but we'd be able to do like solos where we would just like fight against each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thoughts. If any of you guys have any questions about it, sure. But yeah, that's my recommendations and how I feel about teamfight tactics.
So what's stopping you from jumping into the Dota one? Is it Lucas, or do you have like a preference, or does Lucas have a preference of which auto chess he likes?
Oh, I think Lucas likes teamfight tactics a little bit more. I can't quote him. He might be watching right now. Hi, by the way. Hey!
Hey!
But no, I there's nothing stopping me from getting into auto chess. It's mostly because like teamfight tactics is more popular for the most part, or at least the people I've been watching, because it already has that background of Riot. So it has that like fan base already. And some people really like that extra bit, because I know, like, as much as I like the Dota version, it gets a little bit monotonous because you don't have that kind of extra flair to it. So it's like kind of like a pro con kind of thing once you get to a point, because I used to play it all the time. I remember like sitting like on my weekends just playing that game, like in 2019, I think it was 2019, 2020. I played it quite a bit and then I stopped. So getting back into it now, now that I feel more confident with it, I can usually like make a team comp that makes like at least gets me to like either like second or third or even first if I get the characters that I like, because I have a team a team that I usually like go with. It's like my die hard, but if I can't get it, then sometimes I might try something different. But yeah. No, I think it's mostly just the extra flair for now, but I might hop back into auto chess just to see where it is now, because I haven't played in a few years.
Yeah, that's cool. I might check it out again. I know I had a pretty decent amount of fun. Luckily, when I tried it out, I had like really sweaty League of Legends players kind of helping me out. So I wonder how it would be just to be kind of like just to start out brand new, because we were also getting like higher level people because of them. So I wonder if the experience would be better for a newer player again. Though
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ever play League again. I forbid League to ever even be installed on my system.
I will play any other Riot game. I will play Legends of Runeterra. I will play Teamfight Tactics. I will play any of their RPG games that have come out. One about Misfortune, and the other ones that are like currently like they've been said that they're coming out, but they don't have release dates. But I will not play League of Legends. That game is like, I would probably say, and probably because my experience on Rainbow Six was horrendous, both have incredibly toxic fan base.
Oh yeah.
And so for that reason, I don't like that. But the people who are like into like Legends of Runeterra and Teamfight Tactics, really cool people. It's just the league that I'm just like, no, I can't do it. The music bopping, but you know what? I can enjoy the series and I can enjoy the mythos in 10,000 other ways rather than playing League of Legends.
True.
And I'm
And I
happy
kind
for
of like
that.
that it is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so happy now there's other avenues to enjoy these characters. And if it's going to be auto chess for some people, or it's going to be the fighting game coming out that I'm actually kind of interested. So very much curious about this world, but don't want to play League of Legends.
There's a fighting
Yeah.
game, and then there's a MMO coming out for
Yeah.
them. So
I think
There's-
you mentioned there's a shooter too, like an FPS shooter is supposed to be happening as well at some point.
Yeah. There's so much to the realm, and like also as a lore person, there's so much League lore that it's just fantastic. Even outside of the realm of like Arcane, like they've been doing like animated movies for years, just short movies on YouTube that they've released on their channel, either announcing characters or like character building or like world building. So yeah, that's what I've been enjoying about Riot, but God, never League. Absolutely not. I've tried. I'm sorry, Van Aken. Like, I played a few times with him like a few years back, and I'm like, I can't. I played with him in like Ian. No, I can't. It's just so bad.
Would you
Like,
say League makes you scream?
I'm not gonna say anything towards that because I feel like that's gonna lead to something weird.
Yeah. But speaking of screaming,
I'm just so glad we're an anti-League podcast. I love that for us.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry
I
to
thought
kill
I
your
did,
transition.
I was trying to
Just take it away, Frank.
I was trying to transition you screaming into anger, so I could transition to the
Oh.
Sly.
Oh, my
But
apologies. I thought it was
you're
getting weird.
good. I was trying to figure out how to do it. I was like, I don't know how to use Chicken, Ultimate, or Showdown for that. But anyway, Sly, what is Screaming Chicken Ultimate Showdown?
Screaming Chicken Ultimate Showdown is like multiplayer party game that I got in my inbox earlier this week, and I was like, that kind of sounds fun. So shout out to Vicarious PR for giving me a couple codes to try this out. It came out yesterday, and it is just like such a silly, goofy time. It's I was playing like local, but like through the like remote play Steam thing. So Alexis and I sat down today and played a couple rounds, and it's just like so goofy, and like the physics are so like you're like floppy chicken and you're trying to like use items to like take down each other's health or whatever. And yeah, it was fun, but I will say it is only on Windows for all of my Apple people. So I was running it on like a partition of my hard drive, and we were running on like a like standard laptop and a like boot camp version that's a totally legal copy of Windows. And it was like really framey. So that was a little disorienting. It was a little rough graphically.
What happened? Oh.
So if you ever want to
Okay.
give this a whirl, you can. It's completely free. The founders pack I think is about $7 Canadian, but it's pretty much a racing game but on trays, like baking trays, and you're just going down a hill. That's really what the
Okay.
game is.
Do you get to build said
you get to
racing
like
things?
you get to customize your tray as in
Okay.
like
Oh, okay.
what the look of it. I don't think
Oh,
there's any
okay.
stats involved or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But you're just going down and you're just like going through like jumps. You're grinding on rails. There's a beetle rolling a fucking boulder around. You go through like little tunnels to make yourself go faster and stuff like that. You can customize your character, all that kind of fun stuff. And it's just like it's pretty much a race to the bottom kind of game. Like whoever can get to the bottom the fastest. It's just an interesting tray game, you know.
Cool little like
I-
fast multiplayer game, in and out type
yeah,
deal.
you can go up to like I think you can have up to 16 players or so. I think
Mhm.
so. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of fun to just jump in with some friends and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I played that today. And I was like, oh, that's a cool little game.
Speaking of jumping into friends, tell me about your time with Destiny 2. What you been up to, man?
I have been doing all the old raids.
Mhm.
I've been doing. I've pretty much because like they're not heightening the level cap this season. So like I'm gonna be stuck at this level cap for the next 4 months, I guess. So we have a dedicated group, well, mostly a dedicated group to just go through old raids, and we've just been doing the older content and stuff like that, like grabbing like the guns that we want to do and stuff like that. It all kind of dawned on me that the older stuff is so much better than the newer stuff in that game.
The older stuff is so good. Like, play Taken King and be like, wow, wasn't this the fucking peak of like raids? Like, imagine if we got that quality going forward.
Yeah, like I've done Vault of Glass, which was
Vault
really
Glass
fun.
is good.
There's another one that I did and I don't remember what it is. We're supposed to do Divinity, I think, next week. Well, that drops Divinity, I forgot which one that one is. But
Garden is something I don't remember.
yeah, Garden of Salvation.
Garden of Salvation. There you go.
Yeah. And then at some point we're gonna do Last Wish.
Last Wish,
And yeah,
that's
so,
gonna
like,
be great.
I'm excited to do those ones because like everything I've done in the game so far is just so much better than what the content is at right now. It's like mind-boggling to me. It really is.
Do you see yourself continuing past this expansion, or do you think it's just kind of like I'm gonna play the seasons and then next maybe take a break on the next one?
Yeah, that's like I'll probably play the next expansion. I'll probably jump into it. I probably won't play like anything too major, but yeah, I like I don't mind the grind. The thing that I like about this game is that it's horizontal progression. So anything that you do in the game will progress your character in some sort of way, which I really wish other games, Final Fantasy 14 would do. I would love them to do horizontal progression because it just horizontal progression just makes the game just feel so much better because when you're doing things, you're always feeling like you're progressing towards something. Something is always happening for your character. You're always getting some sort of light level. You're getting some sort of armor and stuff like that can be used for later on. That's one of the things that I really, really, really like.
Yeah, that lights level system is just fun. It you can get to your final level and then you'll get that like good dopamine rush of like, oh, I'm max level now. But you know you're not done because the end game is getting your light level then to the highest, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Destiny really is Destiny. Is getting to the max level and getting your light level to the highest and doing the raids, getting all the weekly things that heighten you up to that point. I don't know where you could probably answer me this question. Last I left it, they still did the thing where like, hey, you can only do a certain amount per week though. Like you can only get to a certain amount a week.
I don't know if that's I don't think I ever ran into that problem while I was playing because the increment is so low anyways. Like sometimes weeks, so on one week you'll get like one light level, on another week you'll get
that's
three
what I
light
mean.
levels, right?
Yeah,
like
you only really
random though.
Yeah, you only really have opportunity because, like, for example, like the raid one, right? You get one like high engram compared to where you are for completing a raid, but you can only do that once a week, right? And yeah. And then you have some stuff from Hawthorne where you can only get like once a week, right? And
that stuff is still there. That stuff is all there. Yeah, that stuff. Yeah. But I don't mind that because again, there's more than one way of getting that gear. There are 20 different ways to get the gear, right?
Yeah.
Like do 3 Nightfalls or do it like about a bunch of Nightfalls, do 3 Crucible matches, do Hawthorne's combination stuff, the raid. There's just so many things that you can do that it just makes it so getting gear isn't a pain in the ass. And and what Fargo Brady just said, Grandmaster Nightfall's coming out next week. Yeah, like April 11th or something like that, where like the top of the top stuff comes in. I kind of wish one of the things I do wish is that this game had matchmaking for pretty much everything, and it doesn't.
We've been asking for like since day one, like please just let us do raid matchmaking. There's no like I understand maybe like the harder raids or like the legendary versions of those raids maybe not having matchmaking. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like at least make the normal tier of raids. Like, just give me matchmaking. I get that it's going to be a little bit of an issue because if you ever try to do a raid where you had to piece together a team online, it is a absolute nightmare because somebody always fucks it up. But if you have drop in, drop out matchmaking, it would be much easier.
But let me do legendary Nightfalls.
Yeah, why not?
With matchmaking. Why do I have to have a dedicated 3-man to do this, right?
Yeah, it was the most annoying thing ever because I like playing that game solo as much as I possibly can. And I always get stuck at the Nightfalls because I need 3 fucking people for some reason, and I'm like, if I could do it solo, I do it solo. But I'm not gonna sit here for 3 hours trying to solo this. I need 3 people, and getting 3 people online is sometimes even the worst. So just give people matchmaking. There's no reason why it shouldn't have it.
It's matchmaking is supposed to be coming in, I think, in this season coming up, season 4, whatever season 21 or whatever the next season is. They're supposed to add matchmaking to the game at some point. But other than that, like I really didn't like legendary lost sectors at the beginning, but then I learned how to play the game, and I was like, okay, now I actually don't mind the legendary lost sectors.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like,
yeah,
okay.
and then I learned how the game actually works. And I'm like, it's still a little pain in the ass, but they're fun to like kind of.
Yeah, you gotta mix and match a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta have a myriad of other weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
once you build an arsenal, they get a little bit easier. But yeah,
I've been enjoying my time with Destiny. I think everything that isn't Nightfall is really, really good, but Lightfall itself was kind of meh to me. But I'm enjoying going back.
That's good to
hear.
Yeah,
if they bring matchmaking, then I'm gonna jump back in for all that stuff.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you're coming to some sort of enjoyment to the game because I know that earlier in the week you were like, nah, like you were not having it, and then let's get your sense. I'm gonna let you do that and keep myself away because
I just want to say if you don't like if it's one of those things like if you're just there for the narrative, it's probably not there for you. If you just want something more from the story, and stuff, it's just that stuff just isn't there.
Sure,
but. If you just want to like put something on the side and just go grind out some stuff and just do that, perfect for that.
I just want to say there was a point in this progress podcast where Harv shit all over Destiny, and I was literally saying the same things he was saying. Harv, you just sound like me now.
For the love of all that is holy, all I want from this is for Final Fantasy when the new expansion comes out, give us more fucking ways to gear our character. That's it. That's all I want.
Expand the end game. Add more things for me to do. Make my character personable.
Yes,
I agree with Harv 100%. Do that shit. Get right on Yoshi P. Once you're done with 16. 16 looks really fucking good, by the way. That state of play. Jesus Christ.
Oh god, that state of play. Dude.
Oh,
I avoided it. I have not seen a damn thing as I'm saving myself.
Dude,
saving myself for marriage to that game. Okay.
Fuck that game, dude.
That game's gonna be fucking like literally. Honestly, probably game of the year.
I don't know. My Zelda's coming out in a month. So,
I know.
That Zelda trailer, boy.
I know that Zelda.
I know that Zelda trailer is pretty fucking sick.
That Zelda trailer is the one thing that got me. Like, I wasn't that hyped for Zelda until I saw that trailer, and I was like, "We're getting more story shit," and I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually gonna like inhabit the world too. Like they're gonna make the world actually like dynamic a little bit. I'm like, this is everything. This is all the complaints that I had with Zelda, with Breath of the Wild. They're just gonna fix it. So I said, fuck it. This is like looks pretty good.
Ganondorf, he has some Gatorade. He's fucking ready to go, dude.
Yeah, somebody put some fucking water. Or they put the healing water on
dude, he's thick
from Triple R.
Oh my god, dude. I'm like that game. And Final Fantasy. I think those are the 2 top games this year that are gonna fight it out. I think.
I went from
100%.
Like I want to play the sequel to Breath of the Wild to I want to fucking play the fucking sequel. Yeah. I literally have my Switch on my desk, getting hyped for it.
That's where the problem I think is.
That of course is the problem of it.
Is this game gonna run well? This is the problem.
I feel like
well.
there's no way nobody at Square Enix right now is thinking about the Steam Deck. Like, isn't thinking about the Steam Deck right now. So they either at launch or shortly after.
No, I'm talking about Breath of the Wild.
That's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not gonna run. It's gonna run like shit. It
Uh,
doesn't matter though.
PC
It really,
version
but it
is-
doesn't matter because
I
they'll
know, it
still
doesn't
play
matter.
it. We're still
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
fucking play it. It can run at fucking 15 frames per second, and we'll still play it.
I mean, Breath of the Wild did run at 15 frames per second.
Exactly.
So
Final Fantasy is not coming out on PC for a long time, so don't even worry about the Steam Deck version of that thing.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
They said 6 months, and that's not. I think they're going to delay it like at least a year till like thing comes out on PC.
I'm gonna play. I have to play it day one, so I'm gonna play it on PS5. So it's probably gonna look really good on. It's probably good. It's like built for the PS5, so we'll be fine.
hopefully it's 4K 60, not like most games.
Here, one question before we get off this topic.
God.
What game do you think will touch more hands? Breath of the Wild or
Breath
Final
of the
Final
Wild.
Fantasy
Fantasy 16.
Breath of the
What
Wild.
what is selling more copies?
Tears of the
Wild.
Kingdom, probably.
Wild, yeah.
You think so?
Just by
Yeah.
pure
Alright.
numbers of consoles.
Yeah, the attach rate.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of
of
PlayStation 5s out there.
Not
you know
as
what I mean?
many as
not
Switches.
not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Not
on
enough.
Switches. And plus, the attach rate on Nintendo Switch is fucking ridiculous
Yeah.
as
Mhm.
well. When you look at their
Yeah.
games and stuff
That's
like
why.
that.
There's also like people who I know that are not gamers, but they are fucking buying that game day one. Like
Mhm.
there's like people who enjoy like, and I don't own a PlayStation 5, but I bet like I can tell you right now, the closer we get to that date of Final Fantasy 16 comes out, I want to get one. But it's the price point and the fact that like the
course.
people who might be even interested, they're like, okay, well now I have to buy like an $800 console plus like an $80 game if I want to buy the base game. So definitely
Mhm.
Zelda.
Okay, I
I
agree.
mean,
I think,
Zelda's gonna be the same price as Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Which is-
funny
Yeah.
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but the thing is, well, a lot of people don't have the PlayStation 5 still, but everyone and their mom has a freaking Switch right now.
Yeah.
True.
Even if it
Yeah.
is broken.
Yeah.
But I know I agree. Like Zelda is just one of those things, like one of those like Nintendo games where like even if you don't have a Switch, you're probably gonna buy one to play that game.
Sure.
Like more than likely.
It's
You know what I mean?
one
Like
of those like franchises that has transcended like generations and also like gamers and non-gamers. Like it's one of those that
Look-
like even if you don't play
So-
like if you don't play games or whatever,
The crazy thing is that
touch the
Zelda's not the best selling thing on Nintendo Switch either, though.
No,
right?
it's
Like
not.
it's not one of those things because
Yeah.
like Mario is the best selling thing you can possibly.
oh
get
yeah,
on
Mario
the
sells
Switch.
consoles all day.
Yeah.
Fucking but it's gonna be wild to think that Breath of the Wild came out and then 5 years later people graduated college or high school. Got
Yeah.
sequels.
Damn.
So,
Yeah.
Feels,
they got
feels,
the
feels
sequel.
old, man.
yeah.
Remember when we first fucking got our
Dude, I
Switches?
remember
Jesus
that day like
Christ.
it was fucking yesterday,
Yeah.
man. It was awesome.
We stood outside GameStop. What are those, right? We don't even have GameStops
Fuck
anymore.
that, man.
I don't know where my Switch is.
Yeah, my Switch is like under a bed somewhere, hacked still. Like it's when Breath of the Wild comes out, I'll probably splurge out on like an OLED
Oh.
Switch or something like that.
You can buy a new Zelda exclusive freaking Switch OLED.
Is it the same price?
I
It's
don't
$50
fucking know,
more.
probably.
$50 more? Does it come
I
with the
think
game?
I think it comes with
No.
the game, doesn't it?
If it
Oh,
comes with
does
the
it?
game, then okay. Then if it doesn't
Oh,
come with
I'm
the game,
sorry.
I'll
I'm
charge my regular
sorry.
Switch.
Yeah, it is the same price. But the Switches are $50.
It's the same
more.
price.
Oh, okay. If it's the same price, then fuck it. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
Thanks
as
for the
well.
heads up, Fee.
Fi-
That's
it's
awesome.
You're
$3.30.
welcome.
All right.
Yeah, because I
Um,
saw a Twitch. No, it was not Twitch. It was a TikToker who was just like, I don't need to buy this. I don't need to buy this.
Yeah.
But they're like known for
it look
exclusively
sick?
streaming Zelda. Oh, it looks sick. Yeah.
It looks good. It looks good.
It has the whole Hyrulean symbol stuff on the. I have not played a Zelda game. In a hot minute, guys.
What the shit? Look at that.
Yeah, I would not
I like the
steer you
gold color
wrong,
on
dude.
it. The gold color on it's actually selling me right now. Like it's gold and
it's-
green.
It's off white, green,
Uh-huh.
and then gold. It's very pretty.
All right. I might pick the $359.99. Does it come with the game? Well, I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out later. Now's not the time to find out. But
You won't.
it's time to find out how we've been playing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with Mario because I Mario's not the farthest in the game. I think you're
Well, at the end,
75% done. 75%.
I'm at the part where you have to do a whole gauntlet before you get the Stadler, so I'm pretty much at the end there.
Oh, then yeah, you're at
What
you're close to
chapter
the
are
end
you
then.
on?
15.
Yeah, He's
Yeah,
like
you're
at the
just
end.
close to the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
me and Harv finished it.
He
We're already-
probably already knows too because he's played the game already, so he kind of
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he already
the
knows who the
OG
fi-
one. So
Let's
he
be
knows-
real here. We already know who
Yeah.
the final boss is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like anything else that
Yeah.
changed a lot. Right?
So
Let's hear it.
yeah, I'll preface this. I played Final Fantasy. Resident Evil 4, the original, on PC on stream about 2 years ago now at this point. It's actually before
Almost
Pip.
3.
Yeah, it
Maybe.
was wild. That was my first time ever playing it. Obviously, the game has been around for quite a while now. People consider it, definitely a classic. I definitely had my fun with it. It still wasn't my favorite Resident Evil by far, but still an interesting continuation of that story that I actually never saw all the way through. I've only seen it through memes, and so it was fun. I think,
or just Leon talking.
or Leon just talking in general.
No thanks,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah. But where's everybody going? Bingo. And so I finished that game, and then I moved on. I did all the rest of the games series up to that point. Went on my full journey, and I'm all caught up basically. And now here is the remake. And at first, when this game was slowly coming out, I just had no interest. Primarily because I was just afraid. I just didn't want to play another Resident Evil game because I was mostly just scared. That's literally.
This is probably okay. No, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
But
No, I understand what you're about to say. This is probably
Yeah,
one of
because
the
I
least...
I literally said the same thing earlier to him too.
Yeah, and then I started playing. And I was like, I'm actually more of a badass than I am anything else. Once you get to a certain point, you're just
Once you're upgraded, you're good.
yeah. Even then, I'm playing on the lowest difficulty because I just don't care for challenging games, but just to enjoy the story again, just to see the differences, see what's missing, what's changed. And I'll tell you right now, I'm really enjoying it. Now, Frank make a point. Yeah, where am I playing it? I'm actually not playing it on like my console. I'm not playing it on PC or anything. I'm actually playing it on the Steam Deck, and it runs really well. Looks gorgeous too. It's a really fantastic experience. This is a game that I'm sure probably looks great in 60 frames and higher, but ultimately it's still kind of perfect for a 30 frame sort of like handheld situation. It's just a very pretty handheld situation. And I was actually scared because I played the demo when that came out on it, and that was kind of running bad, which I was kind of scared for. So, but I heard that the reports that it was actually running really well on the full version, which RE2 and RE3 do run pretty well on the system. So yeah, to actually take this on the go, and I literally just play in bed, or I sit in this couch and I make sure my Switch or my Steam Deck is plugged in because that fucker will burn through battery like crazy.
Dude, it's burns so quick.
But at least I get a couple hours out of it, which is nice. But ultimately, yeah, I'm having a good time. I think I've come to the conclusion that the Resident Evil series is just a fun fucking series to play. Like the
It's
remakes,
just so good.
the remakes have definitely elevated the way that those games have been coming out. And these are like, to me, the remakes are the definitive versions of the games. As much as I love the music and this history and the score of like the original RE2 and everything that they've brought, like the music sounds and all those little things, those are great. I just think that the way that they play and control now is just far and beyond anything that they did before. That being said, there are some things that I'm just still not a fan of. Mostly the way that they lay out their buttons to begin with. Obviously, I haven't gone in the system to see if I can change certain things. Like running for the hand, like if I'm playing on Switch, running is just like holding a button and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Versus like, I don't know, running or holding something else. I don't know. Clicking is stick in, basically.
Stick in,
No.
Which is like most games. But other than that, I'm having a pretty solid time. Obviously, the boss fights are not anything to squeeze, and I don't think they're interesting. I will say, though, the regenerator. The thing you have to fight.
The Verdugo?
That thing.
In the liquid nitrogen area?
Liquid nitrogen area?
Yeah, the Verdugo.
He is not as scary in this game as he is in the original, but I think it's just because of the way they look in the older game.
Oh yeah, they look terrifying in this one. He's fucking terrifying in this game. He rushes you harder than this game.
He does
now.
rush you, which is crazy, but ultimately, I've
So
just
this
found
is-
his design not that scary, and
This
also
is-
their generators too.
This is kind of where I was with this because I played the OG one as well,
Yeah,
and I feel like this one is a lot less campier than the OG one.
sure.
I think they've taken that stuff out and they've kind of put like Leon's still a fucking nerd, right? But like
He's
but
a
for
nerd
the
that
most
knows a
part-
few kicks.
Yeah, we were having this
Yeah.
conversation earlier at work with Mario because I was like, yeah, Leo, like, there's the camp is there, but it's more of an emphasis on the horror aspect now than the action aspect that
it's-
RE4 was.
yeah, because RE4 original was more campy. Like it was
Yeah,
so
it's
much
an
more
80s
campier.
action movie.
Yeah,
at the
this
end of the
one's
day.
this one like they turned the lights down a little bit. You know, there's a little bit more moonlight, and like it's just it just feels a
It's
lot more
atmosphere.
like a lot more atmospheric.
Yeah, even look at like Ashley's section, right? Like they put
Yeah.
you in situations that they would never have thought of in RE4, where you, as Ashley in RE4, there was parts where you were endangered, but for the most part you were safe. You will fucking die as Ashley in RE4 remake.
One hit.
Like you'll get a one hit kill
One hit.
done. So you really have to strategize as her. You can't just run past things. Like you got to kind of think about what you're doing. And that's cool. I like that. Those changes are awesome. It's definitely more horror oriented. I'm sure Mario, when you got to the night part, you're probably like, fuck, you can hear him in the background. It's so creepy because you can hear him walking, but you can't see them. So you got to kind of like slowly move up until you can actually see their silhouette again. But you know that horror aspect's really good. But Harv, I want to hear from you because so you went through it. I know you hadn't played Resident Evil 4 in a while before jumping into this one.
GameCube was the last time I played it.
Since the GameCube, so like 2004 or 5, I
Yeah.
think. I want to say
It's
maybe
been
2003.
almost 20 years.
I got the GameCube copy somewhere. I'll check it later, but I'm pretty sure 2004. I want to say 2004.
That's about right.
So you hadn't played this game since 2004. Was there ever like anything where you're just like, yeah, dude, this is coming back to me? You know what I mean? You started remembering shit.
There's some obviously the bingo part because I was waiting for that part to happen, you know. But like there were some parts with like Sadler. I remember Sadler. I remember Ada. I remember Ashley. I remember fucking Ashley.
Leon,
God damn.
help!
Dude, there was a clip on my stream where she gets taken, and I just want to kill the person that's taking her, and my Leon goes
This
like
is the new
this.
one, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, the new one.
Okay, yeah,
Leon just goes
yeah.
like this, execution style, back of the head on Ashley. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too? If the Punisher pistol, if you use the Punisher pistol and shoot a person who has Ashley on his back, it'll go through the person and hit Ashley.
Yeah. Dude,
Like this
there
game
was-
loves to fucking troll you.
There was a moment where I had the sniper rifle and I was trying to get a headshot on like the Plagas guys, you know,
Mhm.
and Ashley just walked in front, headshot
Boom.
right in the head. I
Dead.
was like, Ashley,
President's
what the
daughter,
fuck, man?
fucking done and dusted right there and then. Leon's got to explain that one to Joe Biden.
Okay, to be fair, Ashley's AI is dumb as fuck, and they did not.
Oh,
fix that.
100%.
They did not fix
100%.
that.
I
don't
want to
know
mention. I do want to mention Lewis's AI in a second, but yeah, Ashley's AI, literally, I 100% am convinced that she is programmed to fuck you over as much as she possibly can.
Listen, man, you guys are not
because-
clicking in that stick enough to have her step 10 feet back, and then she gets taken.
No, she just I tell her to stay near me, and then I'll like turn around because I'll see like somebody's rushing towards me, and I'll try to get some distance, and she just sits there, and I'm like, stop, move with me, please.
the double chainsaw part with the double chainsaw ladies that come out. I put her in a walker, and I fucking forgot that she was even there.
Yeah, no, I did that
put her
too.
in the
I did that too. I put her in the
The
locker.
entire
I
part.
was like,
and then I went to
just
the next
sit
part.
there.
Then I went to the next one. Oh, I was like, where the fuck is... Oh, there's Ashley just pops
Yeah.
up behind you. She's like,
So-
hey, what's up, man?
So that's really cool. I thought that scene was really cool with the lockers because the whole time. So the one reason I love this game and the reason why I wanted to kind of go in sections here is because so we have Mario who's played the game before, right? Like with RE4.
Recently.
We have Harv who hasn't played in a long time. I religiously play RE4. So I basically know like every little nook and cranny of this map. And I will say that just the amount of fucking trolling I witnessed throughout this whole game. So I played on hardcore and
Yeah.
everything hurts. Everything
Everything
hurts.
hurts. That's my first
get hit
playthrough was
once, you
hardcore too.
Yeah. There was a lot of aggravation in this. I went through that game. I think my final time was like almost 24 hours because I went through every little nook and cranny. I wanted to find everything in this game.
I think my final clock was like 30 hours, I think, at the end of it, doing hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy to get lost in that game. And just like, you know, especially with the shooting galleries and stuff. But anyway, I digress. My point being is that I went through so much hell because this game loves to know that you played this before. And we're going to change it up and fuck you over as much as we possibly can for those changes.
Yes, it does.
Like, oh, you think there's a dog here? Bear trap.
Yeah, straight up.
Oh, dude, I ran Ashley through every bear trap I possibly could, so I didn't have to.
They're well placed. They're well fucking placed this time. Remember in OG RE4, you can walk past, you can go that whole game for the first time and not hit one bear trap because it's so blatantly obvious that they're there. In this game, they're invisible.
I tell the audience, I tell everyone here, check out the girlfriend's review of this video because it's literally the same thing. We're just constantly bear traps, and watch the video game Donkey video. It's the same thing. The best part is they both do the same thing that I did, which was, okay, I know this part. I'm just gonna go to the bell tower and I'm just gonna shoot down, and then I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
No, one part,
that changed too. Like, oh yeah, there's a health item up there and some shotgun ammo. Let me go grab that. You go up there. Oh, there's just a health item here, I guess. Okay, grab it. Boom.
The whole floor caves down, and you're just like, what the shit?
Yeah, there's
Oh.
speaking of like small little changes to that village, like there's another one where when you're first going into the village, you can technically spawn Dr. Salvador 3 ways. Once by going to the door, once by going into the room, and there's a room to the right. Like right as you come into the village, that also has a lock, and then they also need to like chainsaw that down. If you go into that room in the remake, there's just 2 people sitting there now.
Yeah, they're just having tea. They're just sitting there, like what the fuck? My first playthrough, I walked in there and they were just staring at each other, sitting on the couch and the chair. I'm like, what?
So you're thinking like, because it was a treasure room, you get treasure and you got some good ammo in there. So you go in there thinking, oh, I'm gonna get some good gear. Nope, fuck you. You get 2 extra enemies.
My favorite encounter so far has been going into a house and then I go into the bathroom and there's a dude on the shitter.
Yeah, this is the dude just sitting, just standing there.
He's just like, hey, man.
There. It's like, what?
And you know what's cool?
The funniest thing about him, though, he's tethered to the bathroom.
Yes.
So if you leave and go up the stairs, he'll fucking jog all the way back to the bathroom and go back to his spot.
You go back and take a shit. He's weird because you could either kill him and get an item off of him, or B, you could just pick up the item and then he'll come back over to you no matter what, but he'll be mutated at that point. So you have to fight a harder version of him. But those little changes, I love them because it pisses me off because I'm like, shit, I should know that I could do this, and it's like, no, you can't do that. It's great.
So I'm going for the platinum trophy for this game. So I did my whole playthrough. Right now, I'm trying to get the game done between 5.5 hours or less on hardcore mode, which I'm on like the last 3 chapters. It's still like an hour and a half of leeway still, so I should be fine. Once you have
upgraded weapons, you're gonna breeze through.
Yeah,
like I mean, the hardest part was like getting through with the shitty
hand cannon, so like I'm just fucking walking
so you can't.
through.
I don't know if you can use unlimited hand cannon with it. Did you get S+? Oh, you can? Okay,
you can. Yes.
Yeah, because it says no special weapons. I don't know if it counts under a special weapon.
I don't think it does. I don't think the hand cannon does. If you do, I think the rocket launcher, that one counts as one.
Yeah, no, for sure, rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they want you to use like the Sentinel 9 or anything like that, like the deluxe weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I've been doing that, and I think I did an assisted playthrough as well. It's crazy how easy the game is on assisted after you do hardcore. You're just like, what?
It actually annoyed me. I want to know what Mercenaries is on, because Mercenaries, everybody just like, you shoot one person in the head, they just go, oh, and then you can actually melee them. On hardcore, you got to hammer like half a mag into somebody for them to get flinched.
Dude, somehow the game fucking knows how much ammo you have.
Oh, 100%.
Once you get to like, I have like 40 handgun ammo or 50 handgun ammo. By the end of this fight, I have like 3. I'm like, how the hell? What the hell happened to all my ammo?
Yeah, or even then, like an enemy will know to lunge at you once they hear that little click. That little click of your pistol, you're like, oh.
But I've also got to the point where I've modded the game so everybody in the game is shirtless now. Obviously, except
I was
Ashley.
expecting that one.
Ashley she's
okay. Double standards here. What do you mean? What do you?
I mean, I have a Twitch stream. I gotta go TOS, man. Come on now.
big pepperoni Leon nipples is not enough.
Oh, dude, they are. They can cut glass, dude. Those nipples.
That's a clip.
Yeah.
I would say my modded version, Leon is just wearing a John Wick suit.
Oh,
Ashley
okay.
Ashley is it's the emo skin, but
Yeah.
like it's changed up, so she's like wearing a Slipknot t-shirt instead and stuff like that.
I got
switched.
the dog is Suicune, the Pokemon.
Oh, what the fuck? They have dog mods now? Hell yeah!
Yeah, the Pokemon.
Ada's back. I put Ada back in her classic costume.
I did too. I did too with her dress.
I don't.
Yeah.
With the old. Yeah, I don't really like the new costume. I like how RE2 kind of kept everything modern, but still worked with the same stuff that they had before. Whereas this game is like, fuck, we're just gonna change the whole costume. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like RE2 more than RE4.
Oh
mainly
yeah, I think so
because
too.
I like the atmosphere and the vibe of RE2, and I like the claustrophobicness, and I feel like that doesn't get lost in RE2 and in RE4 and all the Resident Evils. Somehow RE turns into like an open world game at some point, and you're just RE8 had the same problem too. So like it's still, this game is worth it just for a playthrough in itself, and just what you can do in the game. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my time so far with it.
Yeah, I'm currently going through professional right now. I'm going through professional the hard way because I'm a fucking masochist for some reason. I'm trying to stay under the 15 save limit, just to kind of see where exactly I should be saving. And going through like at least I'm trying to do 3 chapters without saving each. This on professional goes very wrong in numerous ways if you've played Resident Evil 4, because sometimes the game just doesn't like you. Sometimes you just get fucked over. Sometimes somebody throws a stick of dynamite and it somehow kills you instantly. Sometimes there's a big bull guy, he hits you once, you're just dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this game has numerous ways of like dumb luck deaths on professional that it makes it so hard to like go 3 chapters without dying, because it could happen at any time at this point. But I think that's why I like it, because unlike RE4, which felt like a cakewalk no matter what difficulty you're on, the new one just feels like there's actual difficulty to it if you want it to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I had to do Mercenaries to get the weapon, the hand cannon, so I was happy about that. The one of the unlocks you get is that Ashley will have a big fucking suit of armor, so she can never get picked up again. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that.
That comes in clutch for the knight armor part, because then you can't get killed.
Yeah, and then I want to, because like there's an achievement that you have to do where you can't heal. You can't talk to the merchant, and you had to finish the game with a knife and a. Is that a trophy? Is that achievement? Those are all trophies.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah! I'm doing that. if there's a trophy for it, hell yeah!
I want to get her to get that thing, and then I want to get the chicken head helmet that you take less damage. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It doesn't have to be S plus, right?
No, it doesn't have to be S plus. It just you just need to finish the game by not talking to the merchant. Knife and pistol only, so no magnum, pistol.
Can I new game plus it?
Yeah, it's new game plus. So I'm doing it on assisted mode,
so I can get Krauser's knife, upgrade it, and then use that the whole time.
Well, if you get all 16 bobbleheads and you get that knife and you get the ticket from the merchant, it becomes undestructible.
Oh, cool!
So you can use that knife.
Wait, can I not just buy the upgrade?
Yeah, from the merchant. Yeah, from the merchant. You just get the upgrade from the merchant. Yeah.
Oh, but do I need the ticket to upgrade that one?
For that one, for the indestructibility, yes.
Okay, so I can't just buy it. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't upgraded that knife. Unfortunately, all my good progress is all on hardcore mode. So, professional just makes you wipe a clean slate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Also, the merchant, 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's fucking amazing. Mario, what do you think about the new merchant? Oh, gun rhymes with fun, eh, stranger? He just like cackles. He's
I
like,
will say, does not say, "What are you buying?" Nearly enough, but he
not
does.
enough.
He does.
Not enough.
Not nearly enough is what I'm saying.
Enough.
He does say it at the very end, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" There it is.
Yeah.
By the way, hi mom. Apparently they're watching us. How's it going?
Cool. Hello, Mario's mom.
Hello.
You're now being interacted with.
But yeah, and I love the gun range stuff. It's funny when you go into the gun range and then you don't do anything. You come back out. He's like, I put so much effort into putting this
Yeah.
together.
Where do you think you're going? I like how you know what? Actually, I think about the best part about the new merchant is that he fucking sasses you now.
Yeah.
So like, if you like go in to check a price really quick and then leave, he'll be like, buy something next time, and it's like, okay, dude, sorry.
Good
Wow.
dude. It's a good dude.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just a good game. This remake was really well done. I agree with Harv. I think after playing it for so long, I think I almost got like 80 hours in this shit. I think I do like RE2 a little bit better, and it's not. It has nothing really to do much with gameplay or
To me, it's setting.
story or anything like that. It's not even that. I think what kind of, and I think we talked about this earlier, Mario. There are parts in RE4 that feels like there's too much missing information.
Sure.
Where it's obvious that they're gonna weave in separate ways into that with Ada's story. Like, Harv, you know exactly where I'm talking about, where like randomly a character just has a map.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's obvious to the player, like there's missing information here. And if you're an RE4 player, you know it's separate ways. It just doesn't feel like in the entirety of RE4 remake just doesn't at the current moment feel like a complete game. Because there are parts in the game where there's obviously missing information.
One thing I will say is that the island part is done much better in this game.
Yeah, 100%.
Than regular RE4, because man, regular RE4, that was a slog. I remember that being a slog.
It's always the worst part of an RE4 playthrough, honestly.
Yeah, this one it was more bearable. Even though it's not my favorite part, but it was more bearable.
Yeah, RIP Mike.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I just felt RE2 just felt like a complete game, right? I felt like you finished the game and it felt like it had more to give. Like it had the third survivor, they had the tofu survivor, all that extra like kind of extra stuff within the game to kind of make it just kind of pad it out, but make it feel like a complete package.
That came out afterwards. That was DLC.
The third survivor?
All those extra stuff.
Yeah, that stuff was.
Was that DLC? I don't remember that being DLC.
Yeah,
I remember that being unlockable.
No, it was DLC, and then there was the packs of like the survivors of like their perspective if they survived or stuff like that. That was all extra stuff. So separate ways, and anything else that gets added, like the mercenaries mode, is probably just extra stuff that will be added. And I think that's probably more necessary.
Yeah, that was called Ghost Survivors, right?
Yeah, Ghost Survivors. That's right.
Yeah, that was an update that came on.
Ghost Survivors is different. I'm talking about the hunk stuff and the tofu guy. That was in OG RE2. That's what I'm saying.
The tofu guy, I'm pretty sure was original RE2.
Yeah, that's that because hunk was in OG RE2 because that was just like a time attack mode, and then the tofu one is just hunk's part, but just tofu man instead.
Let's see here. Doesn't matter. I'll look this
up. So that's the fourth right. That was in the game. It wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like that game felt complete because it had everything that original game had from the very first day. Whereas RE4, we don't have mercenaries day one. We don't have separate ways day one. We don't have all this stuff. And I get it, you know, we need to give them time to actually develop it and everything like that. But I do feel like it compared to how RE2 launched, compared to how this launched, it does feel like we're missing a lot of chunks of RE4 at the current moment. Which will be fixed later on down the road, because a year from now it's not going to be a problem, because everything's just going to be interweaved in itself and everything like that once everything's out. But at least at the current moment, there are blatant parts in RE4 where it's like, oh, this is obviously separate ways. It's just not in the game yet.
Before we get off this, before we get to the next section, one thing I want to ask you guys: do we get RE5 remake, or do they go back and do RE1 or Code Veronica?
I think they're going to get B Team to do Code Veronica, and RE5 is going to be the next big.
After RE9?
Mm-hmm. Well, you have the team that worked on RE3, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but the next Resident Evil is going to be RE9, most likely, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Rose's story, right? Most likely.
We'll see. I don't know. Who knows? Resident Evil jumps around so much. We don't even know.
That was DLC that I haven't played yet that I kind of want to play for Village.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Rose got her own DLC.
Yeah. I figure they're gonna go to RE9 and they're gonna go to RE5, then RE10.
That would make sense. Yeah.
6.
I did mention this tomorrow earlier today. It was each Resident Evil starting from 7 has a little bit of DNA that is like experimental in that game that makes it into the next one, right? Like Resident Evil 7, you have the Joe Baker thing, right, where he's constantly walking around. That obviously became Mr. X, right? Mr. X then moved into Nemesis and stuff like that, right? The movement in RE2 then moved into the movement in RE3, and then obviously we have like a better version of that movement system now within RE4. Each game has its own DNA within it, right?
Weirdly, RE4 had the village scene, went to RE8 that had the village scene.
Exactly,
and then
right?
RE4 remake had the village scene as well. So it's like, we kind of went back and forth there.
Yeah, they always kind of experiment within the games and then put something within that experimentation within the next game. My theory for this one is the Lewis system. The Lewis system for that character. So one of the big changes that and this is in trailers too, so this is not a spoiler. Lewis actually is a little bit more of an AI character now, because if you remember in OG RE4, he was just in that one part in the house and he shot around a little bit, and that's about it. Then he was just a character again. Here he can actually shoot characters, he can help you out, give you ammo, stuff like that.
Yeah, I shot him a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot him a couple times, just like the OG one. What I think is that this is a test for Sheva's AI or Chris's AI, depending on which character you play as in RE5, to make that AI, that partner AI, better for you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. But yeah, all in all, good game.
Yeah,
give it a work.
Great game. Good job, Capcom. Solid 9 out of 10. I don't know if I give it a full 10 out of 10 for my reasons, but
I get a solid 8. I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I give it 7. Fuck this game.
You haven't even finished. Just shut up.
I love that a 7 is
bad.
you saying fuck this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, that's
7
bad
is a
score.
bad game.
I'm having a decent time. Fuck this game.
I scared.
Take it off the shelves. It's a 7.
I really hate this game. It's a piece of shit.
Yes.
Oh man. So that was the games that we played this week. I want to hear from Fee though, because she's been talking a lot about a show that she's been getting back into. Fee, tell us about Bones and I guess Buffy. You're muted.
So muted.
I'm so muted. Yeah, you know what? I've been muted. I've been shamming out for the past like 20 minutes. So Bones. What a show. I'm saying this because I'm almost finished at this point.
What a show.
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 Yeah, no. So if you have never seen this show before, shocked that you haven't even heard of it, but here we are. So it's on Disney Plus in Canada. I don't know if it's in Disney Plus in the United States. But the entire premise of the show is following the main character, who is a forensic anthropologist, Dr. Temperance Brennan, who works at the Jeffersonian in Washington, D.C. And she works closely with the FBI, with a FBI agent, Seeley Booth. Yes, Sly.
It's on Hulu in the US, in
Yes.
case anybody was
It'll be on
wondering.
Hulu.
Excellent. I wasn't sure because since Bones is actually a Fox television show and Fox is owned by Disney, it's on Disney Plus. That's why 911's there too.
So internationally it's on Disney Plus, but Fox network shows are on Hulu first.
Weird.
I don't know, weird streaming.
We got the X-Men on Disney Plus, and that's about it. And Fantastic Four, obviously. But anything else is going to be probably on Hulu.
Yeah. So
combine the two things now at this point. Why are they doing this?
Now we got Max.
My goodness. There's 12 seasons. I'm currently on season 11 because I started watching it like 2.5-3 weeks ago. Do not do the math. So
no wonder I haven't talked to you in like 5 fucking weeks. Holy shit.
Yeah, I have a problem, guys. So let's talk about Bones for a little bit here.
It's called ADHD, baby.
Baby, been doing a lot of other stuff, baby. So there's some fantastic characters. There's Seeley Booth, Temperance Brennan, Angela Montenegro, who has like another name, but we don't talk about that because her dad is, for some reason, Billy Gibbons. Not sure why, but that seems to be the running joke in the entire thing. I don't know why. Don't ask me. They made it into like it started off as a thing where it was also known as like ZZ Top associated with it. So yeah, this is just him in the show and plays as his as her father, Jack Higgins.
Like as himself.
As himself.
Yeah.
As her father. They're not even related. They do not have any blood relation. He's just her dad in the show. He's kind of a badass because he just randomly comes in every so often to make Hodgins' life absolutely horrendous because he loves Angela, and then he's just like, don't fuck with my daughter or I'm gonna like hurt you. And he's just like, I'm not gonna hurt your daughter. And then Angela one season was just like, you know what, we can't get married. And so they don't get married, and so he ends up just randomly maybe knocking Hodgins out, tattooing his daughter's face on his arm, and then putting him into the middle of the Mojave Desert. By the way, this show, once again, is apparently in Washington, D.C., so they took him all the way to the Mojave Desert and just dumped him. Just a body dump. Who knows? And he's just like, I knew you'd be okay. You know bugs and stuff. You guys, you got this. Yeah, so that's a thing. There's also Camille Soroyan, and then also a character named Lance Sweets, who is also John Francis Daly, who ends up.
I don't want to talk about it.
And so, by the way, just want to let you know, after his time in Bones, which we're not talking about what happens to his character because he obviously moved away with Daisy and they lived happily ever after.
Right? That's what happened, right?
That's what happened.
He's dead, guys.
He's
definitely didn't die in the arms of his best friend and then said like the world's better with you two in it. Not a huge thing. Like it was probably one of the most heart-wrenching thing ever. But by the way, he went away to write and be one of the writers on Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming. And now he's on Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. He's done a bunch of other stuff since then, but by all means, like I knew that was coming as a heads up. I still sobbed. I ugly sobbed on my sofa. I was a wreck the entire night. I'm like, this was, it hurt. It hurt. Like, I watched my best friend die. It was really, really difficult. But yeah, it's a really good show. It's considered a forensic, like, comedy in a way, because there is comedic points to it. However, there is a lot of, like, kind of like some dark stuff in it too. So it's a really great show. If you're interested in the scientific section of it, mind you, there is supernatural elements because they randomly like have a Halloween episode with the fucking cast of Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
They had fucking Ichabod Crane. And I was like, why the fuck is this happening? Why are you doing this?
It's
such a weird episode. And then she's just like, why is there this piece of paper that has the name of George Washington in his writing, but then you're like, the way that you write is also on this, but this was written 200 years ago. And he's just like, it's scientific fact that family members have the same writing. And I'm like, no fucking, don't even try. This, what a weird thing.
Get that shit out of here.
A girl got murdered with the skull of his enemy. It was a weird time. And that episode was too much of a loop for me.
That is, so Fox has a history of doing shit like this, which my favorite TikTok right now is the Peacock Theory. But Fox did an episode of the X-Files and Cops. And it's like probably one of their best episodes. And so Fox did this with Sleepy Hollow and Bones. It's so silly.
Oh my God. There's a few episodes where they end up at like a wooden lodge hotel, and I'm like, I swear to God, they're doing some Twin Peaks shit. And no one on the internet, I tried to search it. I'm like, this looks like the fucking hotel from Twin Peaks. I know they're not in California, like they're not in the like northern Midwest, like northern like west of the United States. They're in California. The entire show.
Washington, my dude.
I don't. Yes, Washington.
Up there.
Washington
in that general area.
Yeah, but no, there's like there was other times where they like randomly like introduced like kind of like the supernatural. Like in season 2, there was an entire one where it was actually it wasn't season 2, it was season 3. What was it, season 2? I digress. They end up going to Louisiana because of Hurricane Katrina, because you can tell how old this show is. And so Yeah, it just randomly. I just want to like.
Even Stewie Griffin's appeared on the show, by the way.
Yes, he is a fever dream caused by a tumor in Sealy Booth's head, which is a whole other story plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole vibe. They randomly had the Impractical Jokers as themselves if they worked as garbage men. Which is they were a cold open. They just randomly had their own names, and it was like Sal and my goodness, I don't know who the other one was. It was Sal, who was definitely one of them because he threw up, because he found the body, which was a whole vibe. And then it was a weird time. So yeah, I digress. It's a really good
For
show.
the record,
What?
I've never seen Bones. I hear a lot about Bones,
So
but
good.
it only ever comes up on my TikTok live with JJ Thursday. And every time JJ brings up Bones again, I do take a drink. So I just get progressively drunker every time Bones is mentioned. And I'm like, I feel like I need a drink right now.
I mean,
That's super fair.
Lucas said it perfectly. Okay, you said
No.
it perfectly. It's a grandma show, which
Fuck
100%.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You see it
I-
playing
I've
at your
watched-
grandma's
I've-
house.
Me
Yeah,
and
I've
Fee are big
watched it.
grandmas, okay? Me and
No,
Fee
no,
are
I've
big
watched it. I
grandmas.
like the show too. I like the show too.
Yeah.
I think it's a great show. Right? I binge watched the entire thing. I think I ended up watching it while it was still going on.
Oh, I watched it while it was going on. I watched it
Yeah.
up until Lance dying, and then it was
Yeah.
out. I
Yeah.
Me
left.
too.
I was
Same,
just like,
same Fee.
pack it up the box.
Honestly,
and then
after that, I feel like the show just didn't have its same thing.
No.
It
Now-
just didn't have that again.
not at
I
all.
want to talk about another character that was introduced after Sweets died, Aubrey. I fucking love that character. And you know why? Because he's a foodie, he fucking loves video games, and he's a massive nerd. And it's fantastic. There was an episode I just watched where story plot, when Booth and Brennan have to go undercover, they have two characters. It's Buck and Wanda. So their kind of like last hurrah is they go to, it's essentially like a LARPing session where people dress up as if they're in like the Wild West. And so they go into this. This guy, Aubrey, the entire episode wants to live his Red Dead Redemption life. He's just like, I got barbecue because they got barbecue. I'm in like, I just want to know what it's like for them right now. Like, how are they feeling? This guy comes in, is just like, I had to go in. And Soran's just like, I don't think they need you there. And he's just like, I have to go help them. I need to do this. He comes in just as they start a bar fight, and he's just living his Red Dead Redemption life. And I'm like, I know for a fact that this guy wanted to get into this this entire thing because he loves Red Dead Redemption, because they talk about how much he loves video games. And I'm like, this guy played Red Dead. He already knows. He's just like, I am in freaking Valentine right now. I am beating the shit out of somebody and just taking someone out with my fists. And he was loving it. He's just like, yes. And then he went outside and got on a horse and then did patrols outside because he's just like, I had to go look around. And they're like, you just wanted to ride a horse. You just wanted to do this. But no, I think that was a really good character to come in after that. Did it fill the entire shoes of Sweets? Absolutely not. But was he a fantastic character? 100%. I very much like this character. It was a really good way to bring some comedy aspects to it, but he also gets very serious. But yeah, it should, it's a murder, the murder of the week kind of thing. There are definitely some overarching story plots, especially in the last few seasons. They definitely did those last time on Bones, and then they had clips and stuff like that where they didn't do it earlier on. Do I think some of the serial killers were a little bit the most annoying subplot in the entire thing? Sure. Did I despise and usually skipped over the entire Plant story arc? 100%. If you know what the Plant story arc is, I hated it. I hated it from the first get up, and he's just the worst. And then he had the most lackluster death in the entire show, as a heads up. So yeah, would I recommend it? 100%. If you like scientific comedies and just kind of want to see stuff like that, be prepared. If you're all about the two main characters need to get together because you have to wait 6 seasons.
It's one of the hardest waits, if I remember correctly. Because you know they're gonna
We
get
love
together.
a slow burn.
So I like a slow burn.
6 seasons.
That's over 100 episodes.
Yeah,
That was too much for me.
that's too much.
Yeah.
I'm just like, these
Too much
two.
burn for you.
And then there's an entire episode where Lance is just like, I'm sick of you guys not being together. And then they talk about the fact that, like, the very first time they worked together, they made out. And he's just like, oh my God, you guys love each other. And they're like, no. And he's just like, I'm sick of this shit. Why are you doing this? And I'm like, oh my God. He's
We
speaking
love an
for people.
audience insert character.
You gotta
Yeah.
love it. You gotta kind of love that the show is just flowing enough to know that they know
Yeah.
the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When,
Oh, sorry.
I have a
What's
question
up?
for you, Fee. When do you think the Bones revival is going to happen?
So
It's
actually,
actually
When
fun
is
fact.
when is it
fun
going to get a
fact,
limited time
They
series?
talked about it.
They did talk
They
about it,
talked
didn't they?
about it. So
Yeah.
yes, they have talked about it. Mostly because people just keep on going to David and they're like, "When's Angel coming back?" And he's just like,
Straight up.
It has been 25 years. I'm supposed to be an immortal vampire. There is no way I can go back to that character now. You guys can hope, you can dream. It is not going to happen. I can't do this. He's just like, I can't do this to myself. Like, would it be great? Absolutely. Is David Boreanaz like chef's kiss? Absolutely. But it is not going to work out for him unless they do the insane amount of CGI that they need to make him look like he's like 18 all over again.
Straight up.
Mind you, yeah, it's a God, no. They have talked about it. He said like if he was going to go back to a character, he like actually like has been wanting to get back into Bones. And also Emily Dejanel, which because I wanted to like I was like, are they ever going to bring this back? And they have talked about they're up for it. They're both up for it. But he's currently working on a show all about seals, not like seal.
Navy SEALs.
Navy SEALs. The
Navy
Navy SEALs,
SEALs.
not actual
Navy
SEAls. I was
SEALs.
like, ooh.
I was actually-
I just
honestly, I
was
would
like,
be down
ooh,
for
a nature
both.
documentary or something.
Nature documentary about seals?
No.
Harv, what does the sound that seals make?
Oh my God. But yeah. Oh my God. I really
Jesus
good.
Christ.
Oh my God. I hope they do bring it back. I'm definitely going to be finished the entire season, like series this weekend. If other things don't get like distract me, I guess. But no, I quite enjoy it. It's gonna definitely be difficult to find a show to replace it. For some reason, I've been living on Scandal TikTok recently, which I don't
Scandal
understand
Talk?
why. I'm on Scandal Talk, and I'm like, I don't know who this Olivia girl is, and why is she with the president, and doesn't he have a wife, and like, why did his son die? And I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but apparently, I'm just watching all of Scandal out of order on TikTok right now.
Scandal
Yeah.
the show. Got it.
Yeah, it took me a minute
Yes!
there too. I was just like, excuse me, something about the president? That's
Oh
actually
my
why I started
God.
watching Shameless, because of fucking TikTok. We'll get to that later.
Oh my God, fuck off. Okay, anyway, so
But,
Buffy.
Fee,
So Buffy.
Yeah, I was about to say, so you have been trying to distract yourself with another TV show. You and Harv here. Buffy. What's
So-
going on with that? What's going on with the Buffy?
We're
Joss
a little
Whedon.
bit of we're a little bit of a hiatus, but
Joss
She has to
Whedon.
get her bones out of her system first.
first of all, I just want to say, knowing what I know now about
Sure.
Whedon, the show is very it's very creepy. There's like
Is it?
a bunch of
Okay.
like older men that are well over the age of 25,
yeah.
and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, do you want me to take pictures of you? Like, oh, I would love to see pictures of you if you want to send them to me." And I'm like, first of all, you're the bartender for the one bar town, which apparently
Straight
allows
up.
minors into it,
Yep.
and you're like, "Give me photos." And I'm like, fuck off. Like, what is happening? And then it's just like, this doesn't need to happen. Like, a lot of this stuff doesn't need to happen. But, like, I digress. We're on season 2 of
Yeah.
Buffy.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're yeah, okay. I know exactly where you're in the bad times, as I like to refer to them, where shit gets crazy.
I think one of the best things in cinema happen in that show. Just saying, like anything that's ever been recorded, ever. Like I rewatch this scene like when I want. Oh my God,
Really?
there's one point, and there's this character called the Judge,
yes.
and he's just like, I cannot be killed by any weapon, and like Buffy comes out and she's just like, that may have been the case like a millennia ago, brings out a fucking bazooka in the middle of the mall and just points it at him, and everyone's running away. And
It's the best.
I was just like, no. And I was like, Harv heard me do that. I screamed. I was like, I can't handle this. She blows him up with a bazooka.
Yeah.
Like, bye, bitch. Like, you can be destroyed by any mortal weapon. Not anymore. You are now just goo. Just
Carry this, you fucking filthy casual.
yeah. The only person who could bring you back to life or like put you back together is in David's other series, fucking Bones. It would just be temperance bread and putting back the bones of Judge.
Fee, I have a couple questions to ask both you and Harv.
Sure.
Question 1, is this the first time you're watching the series?
I've watched it like 6-7 times.
This is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah, mine too. It's one of my favorite shows.
Yes. And
So-
Fee, yeah, what are your thoughts?
I haven't watched it through. It was one of those things where like I would see an episode on TV and I'd sit down and watch it, but I never watched it in order.
Yeah.
So around the time when it first came out, I was literally a baby, like a child. And then it was on my radar. Like I'd watch it every so often. It was definitely a show that was like, oh, I think I would really enjoy it. But I didn't really get overall into it.
Mhm.
And so now being able to like watch it all in order is definitely like I can't say that I know everything that happens. Like there are some episodes that I've seen where it's like the last season with Spike in it, and then like I've
Yes.
seen like some of the first season, and then there's like some things that happen and I'm like, oh, I know the episode where it's like Angel doesn't come back, and like I've seen those episodes, but I haven't seen them in order.
You haven't seen the sequentials. Okay.
Exactly.
Are there
I'm with you there. I like, as a like young child, would occasionally catch like reruns of like scattered shows and always enjoyed it, but never actually like sat down and watched it.
Yeah, there was like, I'm gonna be honest, and this is gonna sound very nerdy, and you guys are all gonna laugh at me, but whatever. So when the time that I was allowed to like maybe even like be interested in Buffy, I was like more into like CSI. Like I watched all CSI.
Sure, CSI. CSI is a shit.
I watched that. I watched like Miami, which was to me. New York, which was not interesting to me. But then like like
There was only one good
Prime
CSI.
CSI?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's only
that
one
was
good one.
the best one. And no, it was like one of my very first DVDs was Nick being buried alive. It was a 2-part special that you could get on DVD. But no, it was just one of those things where it's just like I was really into that kind of stuff, and I did watch a lot of like fantasy as well, but it just didn't really strike a chord with me at that time. Like I said, I remember like watching it specifically in the summer for some reason when I was like 12 or 13, and then I just didn't watch it. But no, I'm really like excited to actually get through all of it. And no, it's not just Bones that's stopping me. It's just been a busy week. But I digress. I'm really I'm excited to watch the rest of it because I do want to like get into like Angel afterwards if that's worth it. I don't know if it is worth it.
I'll say it's worth it to a certain degree. Obviously, the sad thing with Angel, it's not a spoiler, the show ends on a cliffhanger, and it's kind of annoying that it ends there. It discontinued in the comics, so if you did need to find out more of a story, there is a conclusion that's very nice. But I will say, the thing that I'm excited for is you getting to experience it in sequential order with all the big surprises that happens along the way, because you probably have some inkling of what happens. Specifically, season 2 is where characters that we like in the first season are no longer the protagonists, is the best way I can describe it, and there's some definitely crossing back and forth, and it wrenches your heart. Like, it actually like really goes deep. And then there are moments later in seasons where real serious shit stuff does happen to characters, and this is of course me bringing this up after the fact of knowing how much kind of a shitbag that Joss Whedon kind of is, and a lot of it happens to women on the show, of course. At the time when I watched it when Netflix was like fresh, like a digital service, where I had the disc on the Wii, and I put the disc in the console, and it would load the Netflix disc it was so weird where it was like it would load the Netflix that we know today, but it was on a disc that you had to put in, which is so bizarre. And that's how I watch it in 3x4 format. And I remember just burning through all of the seasons and just falling in love with all the characters, the Scoobies, of course, all of the cast, Xander, Willow, and everybody. There does get a certain point in like season 4 where they introduce a character that nobody likes. But Harv, you know what I'm talking about, where the character suddenly appears.
Is season 3?
Was that her
season 4?
sister that
It
was
is her sister.
introduced?
It is her sister.
I don't think that's season. I think that's, isn't that like season
I
4?
know.
4 or 5. It's one of the
5.
two.
Yeah, when she gets introduced, it is a cool way of how they kind of explain her.
True.
But like,
True.
yeah, I was not the biggest fan of her character.
I do just want to say I do
Yes.
blame the show specifically
Yes.
for David Boreanaz being the like seed that makes me like really interested in dark-haired protagonist men,
Yes.
like just like
Yes.
tall, like
Yes.
muscular,
I didn't think that's
dark-eyed
where that
men.
was going.
Specifically,
Yes.
like
Yes.
just that, and then like also the enemies to lovers kind of like trope.
Yes.
That's I blame specifically Angel, and
Also-
like David Boreanaz.
Also, I mean, this is more Angel than it is Buffy, but also very gay. Angel's very a bisexual icon, and I'm into it. Especially Spike. But yes, gotta be when you're a vampire.
I mean, you live forever. It's just one of those things. It just ends up happening, you know.
Oh, Lord.
But no, goodness, it's definitely like I think it's like one of those shows, and this is gonna sound very silly. It's probably something that I'd probably like maybe like want to watch more if it was like the fall, because it's just like there's those
Yes.
types of shows.
I
Like
agree.
I refuse to watch like Gilmore Girls unless it's the fall. Like it's definitely a autumn show. And just some others that are just like Supernatural. Like I like watching that in the fall. Or
I'm glad
like
you brought
some,
up Supernatural.
Yeah.
To me, Buffy is the highest highs of Supernatural episodes of just having a great time. So far, what is your comparison? Because I know you experienced more Supernatural than Buffy so far.
Oh yeah, I've watched a lot of seasons of Supernatural. I haven't watched all of it. I think I got to season 12 or 13 and then I stopped.
You're close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I the one who's seen all of Supernatural?
The one thing I will say about
Fuck.
the problem that I like Supernatural. The problem that I have with Supernatural is that it became the week-to-week thing, and then we only got at like maybe like 4 episodes of their actual relationship in a season.
It was
where I
so
feel-
annoying.
Where I feel like it'd be like the last 5 minutes of an episode.
Yeah. It was weird because you would have that like week to week character thing with Supernatural, and then randomly it just kind of shifts gears back into like what the main story arc is, and then it's like 4 episodes left or something like that.
Yeah,
It's like, wait, what?
and then 90% of it is them like they're on the road with each other 99% of the time. And like when the cameras are off, it's like they don't exist anymore or some shit like that. It's like what happens or some shit. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Cause like they're literally brothers. They literally spend every waking hour with each other, and they're like, I can't tell him. I don't know if he'll understand.
That's the
Motherfucker,
bullshit.
Motherfucker, you know this
Stop
guy, and you're
lying to
with
each
this guy.
other. How
mean,
many
like-
how many crises and apocalypses and everything's gonna be averted if they just told the fucking truth to each other?
I mean, like, I'm gonna like, and this is, it's very funny that they actually bring this up in Supernatural, and it actually goes back to Gilmore Girls. Is the character who plays Sam plays a character named Dean in Gilmore Girls, and they even
Yes.
make a joke about it in Supernatural when they're
Yes.
in the live like when they're in our time, in our like
Yeah.
time specifically, and our
One of the
universe,
best episodes ever, too, by the way.
in the multiverse,
Like, you
where they
married
actually
Ruby?
talked about the fact that they're in like the actual like Gilmore Girls set. Like they're just like, oh, and this is where they record Gilmore Girls. And then Sam's character is just like, ugh, and then like walks away because he just feels really weird about it. No, it's just, I think there are definitely some areas, and I'm very excited to see more kind of like introductions to characters, because I know Supernatural did such a phenomenal job of introducing some of like the largest players in the game. For example, Death, when they played that song and they just like he comes out of the fucking Cadillac and then he walks down the street as they play, like, you just hear like, oh, death. And then this guy like hits him in the shoulder and he's just like, yeah, fuck you. And the guy just drops dead. Just walks he walks by slowly.
But that's like it's cool, but like at the same time, the show didn't. I don't feel like the show didn't use the characters well enough, in my opinion. It's like once every like 12 episodes they would use these characters.
I mean, they brought Death back quite a few times.
Yeah, that became a huge part of that.
I think for that
Series.
season, right?
No,
I think after
other
no?
seasons,
even farther.
later seasons too. Yeah, he came in and he was just like, "You guys fucked up," and then essentially just like, and he's just like, "Well, aren't you Death?" And he's just like, "Yeah, but I'm not the person who's gonna like be dealing with you in this case." And I'm just like, "That's fucking bad."
The main, I guess the main issue that I have is like once a show goes so long, it just kind of loses its thing with me.
Oh, yeah.
For
Oh, yeah.
a while, and I feel like I think 7 seasons on Buffy was like I think one of the perfect things you could probably do with that
Yeah.
show, because they went with the years of how she was growing up,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then every season is a year, right? So like it
Yeah.
really kind of solidified like at a certain point, like, well, yeah, there's no more like, and there's nothing new you could do with this now at this point, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I,
Supernatural should have ended at season 6. There's a very definitive like this is a good stopping point, and I think you know what I'm talking about, where you have Dean with a family and Sam is
Yeah.
Dean thinks Sam's dead,
Yeah.
but he's still alive. That would have been a perfect ending
That's
point
a good
right there.
ending. Yeah. I agree
Yeah,
with you.
that would have
I
been a
do just
perfect
wanna
want to
ending point.
say they are changing up the entire storyline with their
Yeah.
new series. Like they're just
Yeah, I
like,
know.
we didn't. Well, no, it's because the way that Supernatural ended wasn't good, from what I
Yep.
heard, and so they're
It
just
was-
like,
it was
there's
aight.
actually, since there is a multiverse aspect to the show, like the entire thing,
Yeah.
they're just like, we're gonna just rewrite the way that things happen to Dean and Sam because this wasn't good.
Couldn't do it the first time around, eh?
Yeah,
that-
do you
well,
guys
there
know
was-
what
there
happened
was-
to
there
Dean and
was-
Sam?
There
I
was
mean,
issues.
I have so much respect for a dude being like, I hate what they did to my character. Let me
Oh,
buy
yeah.
the rights and make my own fan
Yeah.
fiction
That's
for how my
what-
character's ending should have happened.
Yeah.
Like
It
I
wasn't
love
great.
that for him. Like
Can I do
I've
people even
heard
care about
really
spoiling
good
what happened
things
to those
about
characters?
We
the-
don't need to go into fucking
I
more
mean,
about
we know,
Supernatural
but we
at
don't need
this point.
to.
No.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely like I will be honest, like whenever I hear like, and I'm going back to the death one because that's literally one of my favorite scenes, is whenever they play Oh Death in any of the Until Dawn series, the entire anthology that they have was Supermassive. Like all of those games start off with Oh Death. Like every single one of them plays that song in some sort of variation. So it's so good. So freaking good. But yeah, I definitely look forward to watching more Buffy, and we'll talk about it once we get into a few later seasons.
It's a good show.
Awesome.
Can't wait to talk to you about it. We should do a pip chat after because it's one of
Sure.
my favorite shows of all time.
So I'm gonna let my boy Mario introduce the Super Mario movie.
Oh,
Mario, tell me about the Super Mario movie, man. We saw this together, me and you.
We did see it together.
Didn't
No,
know-
we didn't. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Never
No, we
mind.
didn't.
We usually
We saw-
see
we
movies.
saw-
we saw this
saw-
separately.
Yeah, we saw it separately.
Okay,
Yeah.
we saw John Wick together. My
That's
bad.
correct. That's
Yeah,
correct.
we saw John Wick together because I had a very
Yeah.
vivid. I was like, I swear I was with you in the theater, but it was
No,
like
you
it
were
was
with
very
our
close together.
coworkers. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. So I went with my two friends, and Mario, I'm pretty sure you went with your girlfriend, right?
No, I went by myself.
went-
During the
Okay.
day, I was surrounded by children. It was weird.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue the story.
I expected children in my theater, and there was a few kids, but it wasn't too bad. It was a little light yelling here and there, but nothing nothing you couldn't tune out, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna sound terrible, but hear me out. I completely forgot there would be Nintendo people there.
Yeah, I actually didn't have that experience.
Um,
I had a complete normie audience for the most part.
Yeah, I had a guy who would go, "Fuck you, Toad," every now and again, or just like point at the screen and be like that reference, and he smelled awful. I'm sorry, Nintendo people, but that's the
All right, well,
that's what I think of.
That's
you
half.
guys.
There's half a fan base. Thank you so much for being here. Love you so.
Yeah.
Just double checking something. So
So let's talk about this movie because I don't think we talked really too much about it, but we do have somewhat of the same opinions about it.
Yeah. I'll say this. Like I said, my experience was since I was surrounded by kids. So you can tell because there'll be something cool or some reference or something on the screen, and you'll hear nothing, and you'll just hear me go, cool. So I was that asshole. I probably spelled bad.
You are the Nintendo
I
guy.
was the Nintendo fucking nerd in that room because I would just go punch out or kung fu's in the background. But yeah, I mean overall, I mean I had no qualms that this would just follow a generalized story of the Mario game, which let's be honest, not that too crazy of a story, but ultimately it is just a kids movie. That's the baseline that you can say about it. Bare minimum, empty calories, no plot whatsoever, but one of the prettiest movies you'll watch in a giant screen. Like it is literally seeing the world of Mario going from the 8-bit era to then the N64 to then GameCube to all the way to HD era now. This is like, oh my God.
It's good.
Everything
good.
in fine detail, including obviously the entirety of the Mushroom Kingdom, different aspects of Koopa and Bowser's like minions and characters. Just seeing everybody in full render detail and having personalities similar to where they are in the games. A little extra stuff, a lot of goofy shit. This is an Illumination movie, of course, but overall, yeah, just seeing the characters doing the things that they do in the games and just following the base premise of what Mario is, while adding some new not interesting twists, but basically just changing some formula, like. The main plot of this movie, even though it's called the Super Mario Brothers movie, is very much only because the plot is to find Luigi. That's ultimately it's not the traditional Mario has to go save the princess kind of story. But I just think that this movie was just fun. I honestly can't even like say something bad about it. I can't say that like it's just simply just hey, you want to see something for an hour and 30 minutes, which is very very nice, very quick. Here you go.
Yeah,
empty
it
calories.
was in and out. And I enjoyed every second of it. It was weird. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, I expect this to be 3 hours long and have like some weird overarching plot and multiverse.
Yeah, but it isn't. It's very short.
Very short.
Oddly enough, I actually found out that the Mario live action movie is actually 13 minutes longer. But that movie's filled with plot and stuff that makes no sense. But yeah, that is funny how they're somewhat close to each other. But I'm gonna let you go into the obviously the reasons why there's bad things about it, because we agree 100%.
Yeah, because so my thing on the Mario movie, and I think I said this the last time we talked too. First thing I want to address is the whole Chris Pratt thing, right?
Yes, that's a good point.
I didn't really care. I didn't really care the whole movie. It sounded fine to me, and. Spoiler at this point, because people have already seen clips of it already. They do the voice.
Yeah,
it's just it's mostly just a little nod, and honestly, it sounds good even with the voice. But like, I don't know if I could deal with that a whole movie. Especially the way they did it. Yeah,
I think what they did a good job of incorporating elements of the Mario like that voice, but allowing it to be just fun nods, but also just like, this isn't him. He is just a guy from Brooklyn, right? He's just this normal person. And I think that Chris Pratt, not normally, not an actual Italian, not from Brooklyn, not from
Brooklyn either.
But I think he just did it the best way that he possibly could. And Charlie Day, shout out to him. He's not in.
Oh, Charlie Day fucking killed it.
Charlie Day does an excellent job. Please give me a Luigi Mansion movie. I just think that he absolutely killed it.
Please.
I think that would be so great. There's a great sequence with just him and Dry Bones, which is fantastic. There's some great references all around. Yeah. But the main thing, and you go ahead and bring this up. The other major thing we had a problem with is the fucking music.
Yeah. My usual thing is the fucking music, man. Like the people over with, shout out to Kieran and Hannah. I know they listen to the podcast. Hey. Luckily they like Illumination's like animation, so they've watched a lot of Illumination Studio stuff.
Okay.
And apparently this is just run of the mill, right? Like having that type of music in there and like having those kind of musical sections.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I guess everybody's always trying to chase the Shrek train with Smash Mouth, I guess.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right. Like that's iconic, I guess. But honestly, like in this movie, there are musical sections where I'm just like, why did you choose this song? Like there's a part in Rainbow Road and we're listening to Aha's Take on Me. I'm like, we have the Rainbow Road soundtrack. Like, what are we doing? Fee, what's up?
No, I was just gonna say there were times where the music definitely didn't fit the vibe, but I definitely liked. I think they played Aha's "Take on Me" when
they
they
get
first
into
enter
the-
the jungle.
They do.
Oh yeah. What
Which I
it just
liked.
felt out of place.
I liked it.
I like the song. I just think that
Yeah.
people recut the movie. So the soundtrack came out, and there's sections in the soundtrack that are not in the movie, and so they use that soundtrack and cut it to those scenes. And it's almost like, yeah, these were kind of made for these sections. And it does suck that they kind of removed it away, because my favorite part of this movie is the soundtrack. I was this close to buying the vinyl disc set. And I would be very broke if I did that. But ultimately, yeah, I just feel like it's just a detriment to the overall quality of the movie. I know that they're just going for, I think, the lowest common denominator of, like, because kids are not listening to fucking I Need a Hero or Thunderstruck and shit
Who
like that.
Bonnie Tyler is?
Nobody, no, that's for the adults. And so if that's the case, why do we necessarily need that in here? I just don't think that it added much to what they were going for. I will say, the one reference that is weird, that is also an adult thing, Cranky Kong's in this movie, played by Fred Armisen,
Yes.
doing a very bizarre Bernie Sanders, Larry David impression, which was so weird. But hey, I went with it.
I mean, I honestly, one of the things that like kind of grinded my gears was this, like, out of anything he could have done, why the frig did Seth Rogen use his laugh for Donkey Kong?
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on. Like, why? Like, you're voice acting. I'm like, just because, like, oh, yeah, I'm like, oh, everyone knows who I am. But, like, we saw, like, Jack Black become Bowser.
100%.
And we
Until he
saw,
They start singing.
I
Yeah,
mean-
they're like, okay, Jack Black's in this movie. I forgot.
okay, but that song's phenomenal.
It's so
Just
good.
saying.
It's good. It's just every movie Jack Black's in, he has to have like a musical cameo of some sort.
I mean, yeah, because it's
Just make a Tenacious D album. You want to make music so goddamn bad. Fucking Jack Black.
I mean, he does make. Okay. Anyway, no, it's and then like Anna playing Princess Peach, that was really good.
Yes.
Because that was just overall, I don't know, I was a little bit irritated about the Chris Pratt thing. I still am. I love the movie. I know I'm like jumping in, and providing my feedback.
You should.
Honestly, one of my favorite characters is Luma.
Oh yeah,
because
little star. I loved it every
that-
time.
this character comes in and Luigi says, "Where am I?" And then they're just like, "Home. Ooh, fresh meat for the grinder." And then like, they're
Yep.
just like,
I think it was the director's daughter, right?
yeah.
That played it.
It had to. Yeah, we all thought it had to have been a kid. It was so good.
it was like I was dying when it's just like, we just like, the only way out is to embrace this sweet embrace of death. And then I'm just like, yes,
Yep,
this is it.
yep.
I want these clips. This
Or
is so
like,
good.
or like when they're getting lowered into the lava, he's like, "Finally, mercy."
Yeah. Like they were just like, please.
Just wanted to die.
Because like everyone's just like, Luma wouldn't be like this, but Luma's very much like a psychopath who just wants everyone to die, including themselves. Like they just want everything to be sucked into an abyss and just like,
They were literally
this-
sad when they were saved.
oh my god, yeah, they were sad. They're like, oh no.
But they're never like angry with it because they're always like really. It sounds like they're saying something really horrible, but they're saying it in the most happiest way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It's so good.
it's so good. And then the penguin guy is getting upset
Mm.
with Luma the entire time. And is just like, no, don't say that. It's just like,
Yeah.
no. I really liked it. I watched a lot of Illumination movies. I agree with what both of you said about kind of like the music kind of being like a, let's try to get those extra like grabs in. Honestly, one of the things that like took me out of the movie completely was them playing I Need a Hero.
Yes,
I'm like,
because we just saw.
what
I just saw Tetris the night before. And this
I'm
shit.
like, not only that, what it was just like,
Ugh.
they also like, that's just prolifically Shrek 2. Like,
Yeah, that's just
Yes.
Shrek too. Whenever
can't-
I hear that song, it's Shrek 2.
It's always
That's
just Shrek 2. Why are we
Yeah.
putting it in other movies?
like, okay, I do want to say for Tetris, it made sense because they did the entire thing in
They did it
Russian,
twice.
and they did it twice. Like they did an English variation and then the Russian variation because it made sense for the movie. But good freaking lord, like why in this movie did they have to play? And honest, like the biggest crime out of it all was they didn't play Rainbow Road. They just didn't. And even in interviews, Jack Black does the fucking like he goes into his whole like usual like singing mode thing where he does the entirety of Rainbow Road, like do like them
Yeah.
like going through. And I'm like, why didn't they just do that? They could honestly could have just done Jack Black, just Jack Black singing the entire like the. No, it was.
I was gonna say that's Star Sound.
Star.
That is
Yeah, that's the Star Sound. But they didn't even really do that. Like they did
They
like
did a cool version
little
of
bit.
something. Yeah.
Spoiler alert,
version.
though, the DK rap's in it, though, and that's cool.
Yeah. Shout out though.
Yeah,
to
Steph had to
Kurt
argue
Hope
it.
Yeah, it sucked that he wasn't given it credit for it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They didn't credit him. Those rat fucking
He just
bastards.
says from
Yeah.
the DK 2064 game. And I was like, oh, that sucks.
That's fucked up.
also Seth had to ask for it. He's
Yeah.
just like, if I'm gonna do this, we have to do the DK rap. And I'm like, it's weird that he would have to ask for that to be in the movie when it's like literally Donkey Kong. Like it's like why not do this?
I feel like they probably would have put another like pop culture song in that.
They sure
scene
would've.
if it wasn't DK rap.
It would have been like an AC/DC song. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
Like Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
If I hear that in another movie, I'm leaving. I will legitimately leave the movie if I hear
Are you a hero?
Thunderstruck.
Oh.
No,
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
These
It's
are
just like
Yeah.
do
I think-
Thunderstruck.
the problem too with this movie is that the real life music choices they picked are all the most over fucking played songs in movies.
Even No Straight
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Since Thunderstruck, Aha, Take on Me,
Beastie Boys.
I Need a Hero, and Sabotage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brooklyn song made sense because they're literally saving.
Oh, no,
Brooklyn.
sorry, dude. Was it Sabotage? No, it was No Sleep Till Brooklyn, right?
No Sleep Till Brooklyn, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one made sense. But then again, honestly, I recognize that song specifically from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I'm like,
course.
now I'm just like in my head, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's playing, and now I'm just distracted. Why did you have to do this to me? But
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah.
It just takes you out of
Visually,
the movie.
I overall gotta say, I think it's a fun movie. If you want to see
Mm-hmm.
Mario commit a 9/11 event, that happens in the movie as well. But other than that, go see it. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I do have one question
We're on
for
TikTok.
the Mario movie watchers, right?
yes,
I feel like this is gonna bring Nintendo to finally give us a narrative-driven Mario game. Since this movie made a absolute ass ton of
Mario RPG?
money. I mean, like narrative-driven in the sense of like Mario actually has a voice actor and stuff like that, and he
you know
actually
what they
talks
do?
and stuff throughout the
Hear me
game.
out. So they did like a whole like Mario Rabbids. This is what they do. It's Mario Ni no Kuni, and they just do like a freaking Studio Ghibli-esque like
They kill his
Mario
mom?
game.
Oh,
Kill his mom.
that reminds me.
Spoilers for the
There was
Ring of
studio.
Nintendo.
There was
Speaking of killing moms,
there were 3 episodes of I think it was Ghibli or it was Ghibli adjacent of Resident Evil 4 shorts that they
Yes.
did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good, dude.
so good, so fucking good. But I feel like Nintendo's gonna look at this and go, maybe we should just make a Mario game like in the same kind of leap as Breath of the Wild was for Legend of Zelda, where they actually added voice acting, they had better cutscenes and stuff like that. Like I feel
No,
like the
that's
next
not
big
gonna
Mario
happen.
game,
Not gonna happen.
we'll see.
The next Mario
We'll see.
game is gonna be Mario Odyssey 2, and it's gonna be the same shit.
We'll
We're
see.
gonna,
I don't know
we're gonna get our 999 fucking moves.
Yeah,
You know
we'll
what?
see.
You know what I do want though? Smash Brothers Universe. Fucking do that. Make a Kirby
Yeah.
movie. Make a fucking Zelda something.
We now have the capacity to do a Sonic and Mario movie if we wanted to.
Yeah.
just gotta
Sonic
get the
and
right-
Mario go to the Olympics. Give me the fucking movie,
There we
okay?
The Olympic Games.
God. Mario and
sports-
Sonic at the Winter Olympics.
All the sports.
Absolutely.
Oh my
make
God.
it a
They could do it.
fucking-
Make it happen.
Illumination. It's probably going to be like some Cartoon Network Illumination show. Watch.
Wait, okay,
Um,
when Illumination does their like, where do they go for streaming usually? Once they're out.
They're Peacock. No, the Universal. Yeah, Peacock.
Fuck.
For us, it would be
Fuck.
for us it would be Netflix usually.
Was it? Oh, thank God.
Very nice.
Oh man. Very nice. Speaking of very nice, I guess we can go talk about John Wick really quick, Mario. Who else has seen John Wick 4 here?
No.
Okay, so I guess we can go through this really quick. John Wick 4 was fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
It was fucking awesome. I don't know what kind of like demon contract these people made, but every time they make a movie, it is better than the last, and they cannot be stopped. I am worried about like because I don't know who's helming Continental and Ballerina. I don't know if we're gonna get the same amount of quality out of those as we do like the mainline John Wick stuff. But holy shit! Every time the series comes out, it gives you the most cinematic way of people getting their fucking head shot off in the best ways possible. It's always creative. It's always really good. Keanu Reeves steps it up somehow every single time. And there's a beautiful shot in this movie. And Mario, I remember looking at Mario. This dude's eyes were fucking bulging out of his head. He was so shocked. There's like a tracking shot over like a top-down view of while John Wick's clearing a room in a dark room with the dragon's breath shotgun.
I got out of my chair and like
he recoiled,
and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And the movie just escalates, and then kicks you back down, and then you got to go right back up again. And it always finds its way to just keep pushing the envelope in all different ways of action that I just adore. And so the fact that this series is helmed by people that clearly care and love about feeling actual like visceral action, you can tell that people really put the effort in this one. And I can't believe I'm saying that about the fourth one, because theoretically at this point I'd say they must be getting tired, but no, they just kept ramping them up all the way up. And God, if I know if they do a 5, you know.
Yeah. Keanu said on the, I don't know if I told you this, Keanu said on the thing, they were like, is there a possibility for John Wick 5? He's like, oh, you always have a little something to give for another one, all right? And I'm like, motherfucker. Like you were legitimately not gonna stop. I appreciate it though. Good shit, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, no, John Wick 4. If you watch the other 3, you know exactly how this movie goes.
Yes.
The story continues. And yeah. I guess we'll see more John Wick universe soon.
I haven't felt as good as like I watched Fury Road in the theaters.
Yeah.
Like, I had that, and that movie's special to me. So
it's very hard to walk out of a John Wick movie if you like that type of movie. I don't want to overhype it, but if you like that type of movie, it's very hard to walk out of a John Wick movie and feel disappointed. So every time I walked out of it, I'm like, I feel like I have to do a 180 and watch it again.
Yes.
But yeah, speaking of other things, Mario, Outlander update.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick update real quick. I just want to tell everyone this show is still sexy. It's still time travel-y, and it is still basically Assassin's Creed. We've gone from the Scotland Highlands to Paris, France for a hot second, to Jamaica, to pirates.
What the fuck?
With those straight pirates. Just straight
No, I was recalled at Jamaica. What the fuck?
Yeah, they go to Jamaica.
Just throwing it in there.
Jamaica to where I am now, which of course is the American frontier wilderness, where it's pre-Revolutionary War. And this show is great. I still think it's great. The characters are fun. I do really like all of them except for Frank, who can't eat pussy.
Fuck that dude.
But other than Frank, not this Frank.
Yeah, no, not me. I've been assaulted by so many Franks lately, just because you have Shameless is Frank.
Yes.
Frank Gallagher, who is literally fucking redeemable no matter what he does, and then I got your fucking Frank.
Yeah, of course. So it's been a fun, interesting world for Franks. But I've enjoyed the show. I will say though, I got to an episode where it made me feel the same way that I did when Glenn happened in The Walking Dead, where I almost wanted to quit the show entirely, because this show does a very good job of ramping up the tension when it comes to terrible things happening to characters, and this did something, holy shit, unredeemable. I have not watched it since, but I'm probably gonna push through.
Damn.
I still want to see more in this world, but it was pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie. Fee knows what I'm talking about in terms of like season 1. There's a similar thing that happens later, that is also really fucking brutal. But yeah. enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Only other fun thing is that there's Stephen Bonnet is a character who is a pirate. He's the same character in Flag Means Death. But these are two very different Stephen Bonnets. That's all I want to say. Very different.
Nice. But speaking of being out of time, Sly, tell me what Timeless is.
That was a great transition. Yeah, Timeless is, I don't even know who does it. It's another time travel show.
Yes.
Basically, they're everybody's favorite MC sweater salesman, Gordon Vishnick, is hopping through time, fucking with like
Of course it is.
huge. Of course it is. Like huge historical events, and they have to put a team together to like stop him or whatever.
Sounds like
And
Legends of
it's
Tomorrow.
Similar?
kind of, yeah. And it's one of Alexis's favorite shows, and I've been slowly working my way through it. It's the kind of show that like
Oh, hold on.
things about it. So I'm like trying to slowly go bite by bite through it. But yeah, that's been pretty fun.
Yeah. And what's the stressful Kraken VGK game?
All right, I don't like super follow hockey, but the Kraken got into the playoffs, so I'm now like kind of following hockey, and I don't get to watch a lot of games because I'm in the like media blackout zone for a lot of the Kraken games. But I did catch the last regular season game yesterday, and it was Vegas and the Kraken, and it was so stressful and so
The
upsetting.
Kraken have
And-
a very tough time because their first series against the Avalanche, and that Avalanche team is really fucking good.
It's gonna be
And
something.
it's gonna be a bloodbath. That's serious. It's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so fun to watch. It's gonna be so fun to watch.
Yeah. So, yeah, last night was rough to watch, and I'm like, I really hope this is what I have to look forward to in the first series.
I mean, to be honest, you as a Seattle fan, you probably want Colorado and not Vegas because I think Vegas is facing Winnipeg, and they're just gonna fucking trounce this team. Like, Vegas is a really good team this year.
This is great. Yeah, it's fun watching them and Seattle interact because they're like the two newbies or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like low key rooting for both of them, but also
The series that everybody should watch if you're gonna watch hockey is gonna be Edmonton and Los Angeles. That is gonna be the brutalest series of the first round of how fast paced and how heavy hitting that series is gonna be. It's gonna be, to be honest, whoever wins that series is gonna win the Western Conference. That I'm saying that right now. Whoever wins that series is gonna come on top in the Western Conference.
All right.
fun times.
I wish I understood any of those words.
Sports.
Sports. I'm excited. I've like tried to get into hockey like 3 times, different times in my life. So we'll see if this time's 6. But I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
Well, playoffs start on the 17th of April. It's very exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Both Florida and Edmonton are playing Monday, Wednesday, I think. So that'll be fun.
Edmonton and Florida. Yeah, they're both playing on the 17th. The 18th will be, I think, Kraken will be playing then. The other series that's going to be really good is Toronto and Tampa Bay. That's going to be a really good series because they played each other. They've played each other 2 years in a row, and now they're playing each other again for the 3rd time.
Lord.
So
That'll be something.
Okay.
well, the other thing we didn't talk about was the Tetris movie, right?
Oh, that's right.
the
It wasn't written in anybody's things. I completely forgot. Tetris is pretty good. Great
Good movie.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Very Russian. Nice mustaches. His mustaches.
Yeah.
Wackier than you think it is, based on the trailers.
Yeah, that's good to hear because everyone's been talking about this, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm waiting for. I think I talked about it. It was a prehistoric planet, or it was the dinosaur show I was talking about. Season 2 is apparently coming, and my partner's really excited, so I'm gonna steal their Apple TV so I can watch it.
It's worth, honestly, this movie is actually worth it because I think I came in like halfway or like a quarter through it, and I was just like, man, this is a good fucking movie.
Oh, did you get there late that day?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay.
I was
don't
because
remember
I had a work dinner that night, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why I came
pushed
in late.
movie night an hour for him, and it was
Yeah.
still late.
I'm
that.
still
Yeah,
late. Yeah.
imagine.
Wow.
What the hell is
Yeah, I
this
was
shit?
there at least.
What's
Fee.
that like? What?
Hit me with it though. What do you think of What do you think of Tetris? Because I know you were really hyped for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I thought we were watching Brokeback Mountain when I came. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
What
I mean,
year is it?
no, I really liked it. I think the way that they premised the movie and like moved the story the way that they did fit really well. I liked kind of like one of my favorite scenes was um without any context, there's a chase scene, and so they use like actual pixel art like versions of like video games that you'd see at that time, and then also kind of modernized it to make it look like, first it looked like Frogger, I believe, and then they switched over to a few other Nintendo like racing games, and it was, I thought it was a great way to tell the story, where I didn't get, like, there was definitely some serious parts. I honestly, like, I know what happens, like, this is history, like, obviously they did some like Hollywood flair to it, but I know the story of like how Tetris like left the Soviet Union and then was sold incorrectly by a massive firm in the UK. But like, I'm gonna be honest, there were times when I was like watching those negotiations and I'm like, oh my god, this is stressful as hell. I'm like, this is more intense
Yeah, I
than
was
like
like, is
some
somebody gonna
battle
get shot
scenes
right
I've seen
now?
in movies. I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna die. Like, what the fuck?
I love the back and forth. It's so good.
So freaking good. And
I will be
like,
right back. I gotta go grab my food.
yeah, no worries. But no, it gave such like a great, like, if there was such great disposition in the movie, and just the way that they transitioned from story arc to story arc was really great. I think it was a great way to tell the story. Honestly, I also had Tetris up while we were watching the movie because I really wanted to like absorb myself into the Tetris realm, and it's just a timeless game. And
I could see Fee as we all like there's like 5 of us going to the movie theater, and she's just like dressed up as like the L block, and
yeah,
nobody else got the memo, and she's like, what block are you guys?
absolutely. I would definitely dress up like the L one,
Yeah.
for sure. 100%. No, it's, oh my god. I loved it. I think the acting in the movie was really well done. Um Everything, like, it had like the sense of like urgency and seriousness in certain parts where it was just like it was almost uneasy. And realizing that, like, obviously this is based on a true story, but then there was like groups in Soviet Russia that were like talking about freedom and talking about the West and stuff like that, which I'm not going to be getting into any
living in
modern.
a country that thinks that when you are selling to the West, that is a betrayal to your own country.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's a downward slope
No.
of capitalism.
it's wild
Yeah.
because like a lot of people might think like, oh, this is just for a movie. No, this was a thing that happened. Like, mind you, the names of the corporations were different. And by corporation, I mean the one that they were like trying to bid against. But just overall, it's kind of scary the way that it transpired. And it could have definitely gone south in multiple times during those interactions. So I loved the movie. I definitely would watch it again. So if anyone ever wants to watch it, I'm more than happy to sit down and watch it again. I really enjoyed it. Last week was a really good week for movies because I watched that movie and then I also watched, like, I personally loved watching the Super Mario movie. So it was a really good week for movies last week.
Yeah. Yeah, but was it weird watching Tetris and then watching the Mario movie and hearing Bonnie Tyler again for like a third time?
I just blacked out.
Just blacked out right
I
there.
was
And
just
then.
like, wake me up when this is over. No, honestly, I think I was rustling through popcorn and I was just like, I'm not even gonna pay attention to this at this point. Mostly because like I have this like vicious vendetta against Shrek. But
That is true.
it's true. It's true.
It's true.
No, I
always forget about your Shrek vendetta, and every time it comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, that is the thing.
From what I've heard, the new Puss in Boots is supposed to be really fucking good.
yeah, I've heard
It's supposed
great
to be
things about
really,
it.
really good.
Yeah. I heard
But
nothing but good things about it.
I don't like the fact that it's like giving people hope for a new Shrek movie because I don't need that in my life.
We're reviving it. They're bringing everybody.
Oh
Yeah,
no, they're
I-
definitely reviving
yeah,
it.
I
They
think
are.
there was a thing where they're gonna bring back Shrek.
They're bringing back everybody, all the original actors and everything, and apparently a donkey sequel, like a donkey spinoff or something like that.
I
Yeah.
think no, I just like
We're back.
Yeah, no, just a random aside. I would like that movie more if I didn't include all my childhood trauma when it comes
Yeah.
to like bullying. Because that was a whole thing.
Whoever bullied you, fuck them, assholes.
I mean, I've been this height since I was 12. So it was it definitely did not help at all being a very, very tall person that had the same name as an ogre. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on Tetris. I know I just went into a vendetta
Vendetta.
spiral with Trek. But no, it's overall just a really great time. It's on Apple Plus if you're interested in watching it. So yeah, I think I'll probably go back and watch it in the next few weeks because it was just really, really well done.
Yeah. Speaking of well done, I guess I'll go through Chainsaw Man really quick because I gotta go grab my food. Chainsaw Man came out with a new episode. I thought it wasn't there yet. Latest issue of Chainsaw Man came out this week, and it has taken that community by storm. Because Fee, you know this trope in anime or any kind of manga or anything like that. We're having a protagonist fight a mental character. And every time a protagonist has to fight a mental character, they gotta talk about their trauma, man. They gotta talk about what makes them cry at night. You know what I mean? We gotta Fee knows exactly what I'm talking about because every anime has that moment where like the main characters or one of the characters has to relive their trauma in some sort and fight it and then overcome it, right? So I'm not going to explain what Denji's trauma is because that's a very big spoiler in this universe, but a character is fighting the falling devil who is a chef for some reason. I think it's because Fujimoto really liked the menu last year, so basically everything is just chef related for this. But yeah, no, the falling devil preys upon people by making you relive your fears and trauma. And if you relive your fears and trauma, you float up into the air. And if you float up high enough, you will float straight into hell and be eaten by demons. So if you don't have any fear or any trauma, you survive. Or if you can overcome it, obviously, right? Now, Fee, what happens in most trauma bearing mangas where a character has to do it? Usually, they just kind of fight it and overcome it, right?
No.
They come to terms with it of some sort.
I mean, they come to terms with it. Sometimes it just becomes an even worse spiral. AKA fucking 400 episodes of Naruto trying to get Sasuke back because that guy went into a fucking mental spiral because Orochimaru fucking told him that he should come and follow. I'm not getting into Naruto, but
that's a whole other podcast another day.
That's once again another trauma of mine is just reliving those very long episode arcs of just Orochimaru just playing mind games with people. But I digress. Yeah, it's usually people like they overcome it after facing fear head on, and then it's just like I finally learned something, and then every so often those traumas like then come back and bubble up in future episodes,
or they go away or something like that, right?
Or they go away, because they're just like I now have a superpower that's based on this particular fear, and they're just like boo, boo, boo. And
I have a fear climbing now. I'm the best climber in the manga. Yeah. So, Denji, being an absolute fucking goblin he is, doesn't really give a shit. So, one of the big things about Chainsaw Man leading up to this right now is that Denji has been like ultra depressed and out of character the whole time, right? People are actually worried about this character because he's 180 totally different character as part one, right? But you can tell he has a lot of trauma and a lot of depression. He just won't talk about it because he's Denji. He's what the fuck he's gonna do? He's just gonna keep denying he even has it in the first place. We get one panel of this trauma, and you know what he does? This man says, "Fuck this trauma. I'm just gonna chainsaw my brain to not feel any emotions, so I don't feel anything. And then he just starts fighting the falling devil after he chainsaws his own brain, because you can't fall if you can't feel the trauma, right? Like, that's just how it is. So he just starts chainsawing himself. So this man goes crazy.
Is that how that is?
He's immortal, so he can cut into his own brain and completely forget about why he had trauma in the first place.
No.
Because this man goes from, oh, I'm fighting you, to I want corn dogs from France, and just starts munching on the falling devil, who's holding a severed head going, stop that, I am not a corn dog.
No, that's a lot more context.
They completely said, fuck it. We show you the trauma, and then we're just going to completely not talk about it right now. Later, maybe, but we'll give you a little tease, but that's it. And I bring that up because there has been so much build up to like Denji coming back as like his Chainsaw Man and stuff like that in this thing, because it's like I said before, the focus on part 2 isn't on him, it's on another character. So we don't get to see Chainsaw Man that often. Last time we saw Chainsaw Man before the last issue was a year ago, right? I think I love this manga so much because the payoff is always fucking worth it. But there's always a little bit of like masochism from the author, because he knows what you want. He knows you want Denji to talk about it, right? But instead he just like, fuck it, chainsaw brain. It's the most Denji move in the world. It's so good. I can't wait to see what they do with it. Luckily we're still back at the 7-day. There's a new manga issue every 7 days. So I'm excited to see what they do with this next one, because they leave on like 2 big cliffhangers. And we might see a return from a character that we haven't seen since like way back in part 1, which is kind of cool. Those little callbacks too are really are like Fujimoto's touches, and they're always really good. But yeah, Chainsaw Man. Remember, if you don't want to live your trauma, just chainsaw your brain. Hopefully you're immortal and you can survive that. If not, one and done deal.
Yeah, we don't condone chainsawing your brain. That's a bad idea. Don't do it.
All right, and now Sly, hit me with the Avengers script. Why are you reading the Avengers script?
For a thing that you'll hear about soon.
Awesome.
That's why I'm reading it. Yeah, I'm doing something, and I'll tell you about it when I can. But yeah, I've been reading through the Avengers script and doing some translating and stuff. So that's all the hints you get now.
Nice.
Cool. And then, last but not least, Fee, finish us off. What is everything Eurovision? And I know you've been listening to Coachella this whole time because I've been seeing your messages in Discord.
Yes. Okay. All right, everybody. Let me just bring out my list of 37 songs.
For the watchers out there, watch when you can see me literally opening up Discord and laughing at it, and then Feed noticing that I'm laughing at it, and then sending me a message about it.
Yeah. No, I have I talked about this last year, and I think a little bit of the year before. I'm a big fan of Eurovision, which is a very large music, essentially like contest in Europe. I know that they introduced a kind of like a Eurovision, but in the United States last year, which was very weird to watch, and it was very weird. It was like each state had someone representing them. Yeah, it was a whole thing, by the way. But I have been listening through the entire playlist for Eurovision because they finally announced, I think 2-3 weeks ago, they finalized every country. They announced who is going to be representing them. Usually, if you're not familiar, they usually have contests within their country to figure out who's going to represent said country, or they might just do like you input your music and then they select it, but it's usually like a small contest and stuff like that. If you've ever seen Eurovision, the music contest
we
on
about that
Netflix
on the show,
we did.
Yeah.
We talked about it. So it's definitely an interesting year. Last year was definitely like super hard hitting. This year there's like it seems like heartbreak's kind of a theme. There's like a lot of like breaking hearts kind of stuff. Like there's like Break My Heart, and then there's like Burning Daylight, which is like another kind of like song, and then there's like Heart of Steel. There's a lot of like it seems like Eurovision's going on a heartbreak kind of tour currently. But no, I have been listening to it quite frequently because it actually starts like the actual semifinals, and the finals are going to be in Liverpool, and so that starts on the 9th of May. So I've been listening through that. It's been definitely an interesting time. There's been some interesting selections for sure. And I am very excited because one of my favorite winners is coming back this year. She is Lorraine from Sweden. She did Euphoria for 2012. She's coming in this year with a new song called Tattoo, which is actually based on her like her heritage, from because her family is from Sweden, but also northern Africa, a few countries there, and so she has some tattoos that represent that, her Balkan kind of like background, and then also that, and then there was like this huge like random side note. It was like a random funny thing, and I like still confused about this. So in the movie, you kind of see it in the Eurovision movie when you like go in and say like this is my song for Eurovision. If you do anything in your act, you have to take that to Eurovision. So if you have pyro, like crazy stuff in your like standard contest, and then you go to Eurovision, you have to do it the same way. You can't just like mix it up. You can't do any like new rendition. You can do a rendition like advertising your song. There is one right now. Alessandra did a song called Queen of Kings, and she's done like acoustic versions and a bunch of other stuff on TikTok. But Lorraine has a 2-ton LED screen that she has right above her. So when she starts the song, she's laying down completely. By the way, it's insane that she's singing that way. And then she like slowly makes her way up. But people are like, how are you? Is that something you could do? Like, are you going to be able to take that with you? Like, what are you doing with that? It's like, it's literally 4,000 pounds. It's just this massive LED. And then it's just like, it's not like thin. It's like a huge chunk. And I'm just like, what the hell? But she's just like, yeah, it's fine. We got it all sorted out. And I'm like, okay, I believe you. Like this, I'm very interested to see how that goes. But yeah, if you want to, or if you've ever been interested in trying to like jump in to Eurovision, this is a good time because all the songs for this year have been posted on YouTube and on Spotify. I've made a list of all the songs in like the order that like I like them. I know some of mine are not like top contenders, but I know Lorraine's definitely one of the everyone thinks she's going to win anyway, so who knows. Or people will just get mad because they're like, we don't want a person to win two times within like 10 years. I know it's been 11 years at this point, but I digress. But yeah, definitely it's a great way to like hear some people like what types of songs are popular in those areas. I know some countries are coming in with their like actual traditional songs, and which is fantastic. They kind of have like a traditional spin to it. Some people are coming in with their like actual like national language. A lot of the songs are in English, so if you're just like, I'm scared to listen to songs that are not a lot of them are in English as a heads up. But a lot of them are in like France. Always comes with like usually a French song, so that's usually like pretty standard. Spain's also coming with a Spanish song, but no, it's a great way to check it out. Last year Ukraine won, and this year they're in Liverpool. Usually they go to the country that won, but obviously they cannot do that currently, and so they're going to Liverpool because they voted on it. But yeah, I really like it. It's something I've been checking, like I've been interested in since 2010, I think. So it's been, oh god, I'm not even gonna talk about how many years that's been. Don't even say it. You don't need to say the year out loud. Thanks. But yeah, it's a great time. Definitely check it out if you're interested. And if you do listen to it, let me know because I have no one to talk to about it. I tried to show these people, and they're like, "It's okay."
I'm gonna connect you with my partner because
Eurovision
partner has showed me this list. We've listened to it in the car, so we have heard some of these songs. So we can definitely talk about that later.
Yeah, definitely get them, like, directly message them to me, because I know Lucas is just like, yeah, Lorraine, Voyager.
Yeah.
It's me and
Yeah.
Lucas in the
Honestly,
background.
I thought the lady with the 4,000-ton like pylon above her was pretty hype.
The screen, dude. It's a
She was
pylon.
Fee showed me this thing and she's like, "That's crazy." I was like, they're just like she probably does this. Like people do this all the time, right? You know, like
No one has a freaking 4,000-pound screen on top of them and laying down. Like, it's
but
very
they're
difficult.
professionals. But they're professionals that are doing
Correct.
this.
But like it's like very like technically difficult to be laying down and singing and then making your way
Oh no,
up as you
that
go.
part's fine. I'm talking about the screen itself. Like a lot of people, because you were like, she's gonna get crushed.
Yeah, I was concerned about that because I've been watching too much Bones, and I'm just like thinking like someone's gonna get really jealous and then cut it,
the
and then like we're gonna watch her die live. Like, I'm just like,
Fee lives in her own Bones world right now.
that's exactly what happened. I said that to Lucas, and he's like, "You've been watching way too much Bones. You need to stop." And I'm like, "I'm
Yeah.
not stopping this train. I am full speed ahead here."
Everybody has the chance to get murdered on screen
Exactly.
by a jealous person.
by a jealous person.
Exactly. And yeah, Coachella. It's day one, everybody.
Day one. What have you been listening to? What stream have you been watching the most?
I have all of them open currently, which is not good. No, I've been kind of like jumping back and forth. Blink 182 actually was playing as we started the podcast, so I was checking that out a little bit. They said some weird things, but I'm not going to talk about that. But there's like some really good like, I usually like to check out people that I'm not like I don't know, because there's, especially this year, there's so much diversity when it comes to the types of music and genres that they have here this year. There was one guy who was doing like this very like kind of like old school kind of jazz at the beginning, which I was like fully there for. There's a few artists that I was not even aware that were at Coachella, but I've like checked out on like TikTok before, because a lot of like I am on music TikTok as well. So it like sometimes it's just like, here's some music that you might not be familiar with, and then it just starts playing a song, and I'm like, this is what I need. This is like the type of stuff I like, is like finding new stuff that I wouldn't have known before. I was checking out one, I think earlier today. It was SG Lewis. I think they were playing before we started streaming, like before we started the podcast. Their music's freaking insane. I would highly recommend it. It's very much like a chill kind of vibe. So if you're looking for like really good music, like if you're looking for like kind of like chill, like you're trying to like wind down, his music's fantastic. Would highly recommend it. I know tonight is Bad Bunny. I'm not really into Bad Bunny.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what the
But you know what?
is.
People love it. I checked out quite a few different singers today.
Bad Bunny is huge.
I know.
Yeah. Well, he's the new Mr. Worldwide. Every generation's got a Mr. Worldwide.
But here's the thing.
But like that,
Apparently-
but I think he's on the like the Puerto Rican side, right? And this that side, there's so many like that demographic is massive. Massive.
Yeah, I wasn't like I personally don't listen to Bad Bunny too often, but I'll probably check them out. I know tomorrow, one of like the biggest one, and everyone's like losing their mind, which by the way, people at Coachella right now, I don't know if you know this. There's this thing called Google, and you can actually find out what the schedule is, because everyone's just like Blackpink, 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 and then they're like, oh my god, and they're just like posting that in the channel. I'm like, oh my god, there's like literally other people performing, and you're just spamming about Blackpink. Calm down. Yeah, I just like, there was one person who was also kind of like headlining. It's like the second largest text, I guess that's considered it. It's like Rosalia, and I'm like, I don't know who this person is. They have like a song on YouTube, 2 billion views. 2 billion.
Damn.
Not just 2 million, not just like 200,000, 2 billion.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, I can see why you're like the second largest name
Billy
tomorrow.
with a B, you know?
Damn, bro.
with a
2
B.
billion?
2 billion. So I'm interested. Like I will say I like Blackpink, so I am very excited about Blackpink.
Have you guys seen the numbers on that one song with Bieber? Have you guys seen the numbers on that song?
Yeah, but that, I mean,
Yeah.
You don't hear about a
Have
lot
you
of
seen
other
the-
people in the
Have
Billies.
you seen the
You know
song
what I mean?
without, like, even without a Justin Bieber? That song has like billions of views.
I know,
Mm.
but like, how many other people can you say like right now off the top of your head who's at the Billy?
That you know of, right? And
That you know of.
this
That we
is-
know of, yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
someone that is just I've never heard of this person, and they are
Yeah.
just on the radar.
That's
It's
the
crazy.
thing.
It's crazy to think like when we watch YouTube, we're just like, because I know people that have no idea who PewDiePie is, and I was like, how is that even possible?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Algorithm's fucking up.
But they don't go to this side of the internet, right? They have their own
Mhm.
side of the internet that they go to, and they have millions of views over there.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I was dumbfounded. I was just like, I've not even on my radar. Like, I would like to say I'm very versed in music. Like, I like to listen to different genres. I try my best to like keep up with things. No idea who
That
this
is
person
true.
is. And
you
I'm like,
you do listen to like so many genres.
okay. I'm like, this is someone I have to check out. I'm like, is it something I would usually listen to? No, but that's what I like about music is like finding things that I would never listen to. And that's why like this year watching Coachella, I'm like, okay, cool. There's like a lot of like really good representation of like different genres. I'm going to be that's why I have all the streams open and I like keep on like unmuting one and then I might mute it again if I'm not really interested and then I'll like unlock another one. Like I wasn't checking like SG Lewis and then I just randomly turned it on. I'm like, wait a second, I want to listen to this song. Like I don't know who this person was. So there are people that I'm like excited for. Like I am excited for Blackpink, but I'm not going nuts about it. Like Charlie XCX, I like. Frank Ocean's on Sunday. They're the headliner. Also Bjork, which is kind of crazy. And then Kelly,
I was like, who,
Uchis
Bjork?
is-
No, I
Yeah,
know who
Bjork.
Bjork. I know who Bjork is. Like that's just so random.
That's what I mean.
I mean, they have a lot of random stuff. They also have like I know last year it was a huge thing where they just like randomly brought CL, who was like a massive K-pop star, who was in the band like 21. But by the way, I screamed when that happened, but I digress. It because we hadn't like she hadn't performed in forever. Anyway, like they brought a bunch of people on. I digress. I'm gonna stop.
We need a whole
But-
episode based on Coachella and your Eurovision for you.
Yeah, just music. Why not?
music.
Let
Let me talk about music.
I mean, people are probably like, she has no degree in music, and then just randomly listens to it casually.
Honestly,
Correct.
I like listening about hearing about other people's music interests because, in all honesty, like one of the most personable things you can talk about is your music interest. Like what you listen to is a doorway into the person if you pay attention to what they're listening to, right?
I mean, that's literally why.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
One of my really good friends, Mac at Mac REAX on TikTok, has a great video in her Vulnerability of Joy series about Spotify Wrapped and how like that's like the most like such an intimate thing is sharing like your music.
Like
taste.
100%.
Great
It's
video,
so
definitely
intimate.
check it out.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because that's why you
Oh,
don't
sorry,
let people
continue.
look at your playlist that often. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't let somebody look at my Spotify. I feel weird about it. You know what I mean? But
mean-
I'll let my friends look at it. Like Fee knows my music interests and stuff like that because of that.
I mean, that's literally why I didn't like tell you guys for the longest time about Zach Fox because I'm like, y'all are gonna judge the shit out of me. Like, well, at that time, I'm just like, there's this song called "Jesus Is the One." I got depression. It was randomly done with a guy in a booth with no pants on. Like, it's pretty good, and like the rest of
that
his
song's
stuff
changed my life. You don't understand that Zach Fox introducing me to Zach Fox absolutely like somewhat rewired my brain in some capacity.
It's just a vibe. Like his music's
So
just
fucking
always
good.
a vibe. Like it's just chill. Like it just oh my god, I love his music. But yeah, no, stuff like that. I'm just like every so often like I'll just like recommend stuff because it's one of those things where like people could be like, "Oh, that's really like that song's dumb." And then you're like, oh, "But that's something that's like a piece of me." So yeah, I definitely agree,
Mhm.
Sly, that it's like it's very it's very intimate in a way where you're like sharing a piece of like something that you enjoy and then showing them this like 3 to 9 minute song depending on how crazy you are. And so just stuff like that. It's yeah. Now I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
listen to Zach Fox.
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah.
listening to his new album on my way home to work today on my bike.
So
it was so
good.
good, so fun. It's such a fucking vibe.
Yeah.
That and City Pop.
City Pop is my jam. I
Mhm.
listen to that regularly.
Yeah, I've been listening to it regularly too. It's so good, especially when you're on like a trail. Like we have a nice trail here in Chicago on Lakeshore Drive that you can
Yeah.
just drive a bike on the whole way, right? And it is great. It is just a nice little trail to kind of listen to music too on.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna say if they randomly say that next year, like Zach Fox is gonna be on the panel for Coachella, there, just going to Coachella.
He needs to make some more music, man. He stealth drops too much. He needs to just do an album already. You know you have the capacity to do it. Just do it.
True.
But on that note, Mario still isn't back. So I want to say thank you so much for everybody for hanging out in the chat, watching us talk about our movies and stuff like that and video games. We're gonna end off the show here. Harv, where can everybody find you, my friend?
You can find me here, Point in Progress. You can find me everywhere else, beard in the hair, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me on Twitch, YouTube,
He's back.
Wow.
TikTok.
Yeah. Mario, where can the lovely people find you on the internets?
Of course, you can find me here at Point in Progress, where we do all our podcasts, including MC University, which is coming to an end soon. So definitely keep an eye out. Our next episode is the New Mutants. There is something in that episode that we might have talked about a little bit, ironically, in there. That's kind of cool. But I would say check out, obviously, me everywhere that you can find me. Of course, you can find me at Twitter at that Mario Rivera as well.
Yeah. Fee, where can everybody find you at?
Y'all can find me here on Point in Progress. Also definitely check us out over on our Discord. We've been doing watch parties, and we plan on doing some like game nights. I've been trying to recruit people to play Demonology with me.
I own the game. I told you.
I know.
Supposed to be tomorrow.
Guys, I'm legitimately trying to advertise this. Let me be me.
I was confused. I was like, I own the game fee.
Oh my god, we're supposed to play tomorrow. But okay,
are.
fine. Let's just jump in and not let Fiona talk. I'm just joking. It's been a long day and I'm tired.
I'm sleepy
but
too.
yeah, check us out over there. Check me out over on twitter.com/Ceranics. I've been kind of hiatus on Twitter because I've been living in my own bones reality. But once that's all finished up, I'm gonna be posting some more stuff. And also this coming week, actually starting today, is the 56th Godot Game Jam, which we're going to be doing. The theme is Monster. So we'll be working on that. So we'll be doing some streams next week of some of the content. And I've been bashing my head in trying to learn Blender. So who knows? You might see some stuff about that too.
I'm so sorry.
I honestly I rage quit on Monday. I'm trying to make a fucking donut. So that's been a whole.
Blender is a whole nother beast.
It's beyond a beast. It's just like, what happens if you just like took everything that was my nightmare and made it into a program, and then it's like I can make something beautiful, but I have to go through the rage-tastic like trust the process, and I'm like.
I don't have any trust.
I don't trust anything.
This is
Oh
why
my God.
This is why I have trust issues.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sly, where can people find you on the internet?
Don't. You can find me also on MC University. You can find me on Thirsty Thursdays, and you can find me on Welfare the After Party at After Party Show on all the socials. And I'm places, I guess. I've been avoiding TikTok like the plague, so I don't exist there currently. But yeah, I do lots of things. So
Also, shout
yeah.
out to Liz because I've been seeing her TikToks and man, she's killing it right now. Just saying.
Currently hosting the Canadian Screen Awards red carpets this week.
Mhm.
So very cool.
That's cool. Yeah, and then you can find my tired ass here at Point in Progress. Bro, I'm so sleepy. Today was a long day at work too, so I was just like, being up this late. But anyway, yeah, you can find me at Twitter, the Frank GV, where I talk shit about video games, and you can find me here at Point in Progress, where I talk with these lovely people every week. But yeah, that should be everything, my friends. Thank you guys so much for tuning in into another episode. I have to pull up the name again. The episode Point in Progress podcast, episode 68.5, the final chapter, part 3, special edition, part 1. I forgot about the Virgil part.
Including, Virgil from DLC. It also includes Funky Kong. Okay.
And Funky Kong, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a beautiful weekend. And on that note, progress has been made. Shout out to FEMA.
Bye, FEMA.
Bye, FEMA. Bye, Joe Biden.
Actually, welcome Joe Biden. He just announced that he's going to be there running for president again. Literally during this podcast. During this podcast. So that's how long we've been here.
For a second there, I misheard and I thought you said Joe Biden had a podcast.
You know what also got announced while we were doing this podcast?
What?
Shocker. Connor McDavid got the Ross and the Rocket Richard Award.
We mean Rocket Richard.
Shocker.
Rocket Richard.
I'm dyslexic.
And
what
that,
happened? Sorry?
I mean, yes, he's gonna he got 66 goals or 65 goals this year and 100 and something
Those
points.
sounds like ridiculous.
Yeah, the guy's a
sports
fucking
stuff.
freak
Anyway,
freak of nature, dude.
Progress has been made.
progress has been made.
I don't have any more progress for you two right now.
All right.
Okay, the
Progress
dynamic duo over
progress.
here. Now I know why ChatGPT likes you two, because you're the only fucking sports fans on here.
I need more sports friends, man.
Basketball.
All right. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you much for coming in here, like Mr. Yaz, man, of course, Fargo Brady, Kate for showing up, Spenny for showing up, and everyone else that's in here currently still right now. Thank you. My mom was here. That was weird.
Yeah.
Watching me on a television.
There's proof.
There's literal proof of that. And so I want to thank everyone for being here. Of course, we're going to end the stream now. But again, thank you so much. And we'll see you for episode 69.
Yes.
Episode 69.
Episode 69.
69 next week.
Tune in for news about
Nice.
that. What we're going to be doing for it.
Nice.
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 Goodbye, y'all.
I definitely thought
Lit?
the stream was